Hello everyone. I am back. Yeah, we are not doing the Pokemon D&D thing today, unfortunately, because me player, who is my other person that's on the part of the party, got sick last second, apparently. So we're gonna be doing some more Coney content reacts. Me and Mario Man. I didn't want to see that before. So we just want to watch a video and pause and talk about while watching and get our thoughts on it and stuff like that. But yeah, so he's waiting for me, so let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna need that Discord window.
Oh yeah, sure. I forgot to do it.
Yeah.
Freaking screen mirroring thing.
yeah. I was like,
do it.
it's fine. I was doing my intro anyway, so let's see.
Microphone, please. Share my screen.
Okay, I heard it. Let's see. That.
So I'm not muted, but I'll while he's doing that, I'll see if OBS can do the dual streaming thing.
Alright, I'm back.
Hello. Sorry, where did you say you were going? I was looking at something else.
I was just muting to do my intro, so and I forgot to unmute again, and I came back. I was like, and you're like, oh, while he's doing that, I was like, oh, I'm muted still. Let's see. That. Pop out. Okay. Okay, get rid of that. Meow. You can hear it in higher quality now.
Yeah. Alright. So I'll look into that later. So are you able to see? Are you seeing the YouTube? The YouTube's on your Discord.
The YouTube on my Discord. You mean your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay,
I just need to get this thing over to the right spot on the vertical. Why is it behind that? What the heck? There we go. That. Transform that.
okay. I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was cropping.
Okay.
And I need to crop. I need to crop this one too. So what was that? 85? No, it's more than okay. This one 105. Nope. 130. Wait, what's going on? It's not. What am I cropping right now? The wrong thing apparently. Oh yeah, I was cropping something else. Okay. That. And then that. Okay, next point's that. Alright, so 95. 115. 35. 35. Alright, there. Had to figure out the exact measurements.
Oh, you have to adjust like some OBS asset or something.
Yeah, I had to crop it on the vertical format so that it looks better. So it was just taking a second. Alright, wait, that one's actually not that.
No worries.
Alright. Okay, there you go. And you pull your thing up. Alright, I see you're on a YouTube video. Yep. Alright, you're good to go.
Alright, cool.
Why does it look so blown out?
Yeah. It's just because he's recording his computer screen with a camera before he zooms out of it or something.
Oh, I see. So it's just temporary, okay.
Yeah, it looks very bad.
Alright.
Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Fellas.
Do you ever think about video games?
No.
You do quite a lot.
I'm too busy to think about video games. Silent
Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, or new games like Bugsnax, which comes out tomorrow. Everybody's talking about Bugsnax.
Bugsnax was actually pretty good. I actually saw the end of his stream for that.
I thought about streaming that, but
I have difficulty sometimes.
Like when it first came out, it was actually pretty good.
How reconciling my feelings, you know? Sometimes I think about games and I'm like, okay, but is it just my feeling? Is this just how I feel about a game? Is Mega Man X really the worst incarnation of the Mega Man series and overrated for years and years?
I mean, X isn't the worst.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
He hasn't even started yet.
There's plenty of other Mega Man like spin-offs that are as good as the classic or X or Zero even. Like dude.
I didn't know there was X8 to begin with. It was pretty, as far as I know, they were regarded as pretty good.
Right. He's just throwing that out there just to start something.
Probably set the vibe, overall vibe for the video. I respect that.
Yeah.
Really the worst in the trilogy? That's content, but we will kind of get into that.
Yeah.
I would love it if somebody was very helpful and they could take me by the hand and say, no, that's not true. That's just your opinion. Or they could say, no, Coney, what you said there was true. It's a fact. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to take in some opinions, hot takes, whatever the hell you want to call them from around the internet and discern, is this a fact or is it an opinion?
Oh boy, I can't wait to get gaslit again.
Yeah, right.
First up is our good friend Token. Token says Microsoft is going to catch up with PlayStation very quickly.
Yes. Wow, this already is not a.
Including Bethesda. Their first-party titles are incredibly popular because they aren't exclusives, like Minecraft, Cuphead, and Ori, you know? PS PlayStation is now putting their games on a Microsoft platform.
I feel like this is an opinion, especially nowadays.
Yeah, Microsoft hasn't been doing much better, even after doing that.
Like, oh yeah, this was made 3 years ago. Yeah, okay. So, extremely dated opinion.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft, in a perfect world, Microsoft would be catching up to PlayStation, because they had banger titles, and then they just said, "No, we don't want to do anything with them anymore."
Right. Yeah. Just closed down studios for no reason, and then yeah.
Yeah, like if they actually like honed in their talent, and like they could have easily surpassed PlayStation, especially because of the weird villain arc Sony's on right now. Like if they're fans that they were always villains, but like if they're even more like transparent about it, and it's kind of weird. Like just how scummy Sony could be. It's like all Microsoft has to do is continue making games for their consoles so that people can say their console has games, and then suddenly you're better than PlayStation. It makes you glad I just played the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I technically have all three because I have the Xbox One, but yeah, I definitely don't play the Xbox as much as the other two.
Yeah, because there's almost no reason to. Especially because like their flagship titles are just bad now. Like,
Yeah, or on PC,
hmm?
or just on PC.
Yeah, that is also true. And it's like that's fine because if the game's not exclusive, then the game's gonna do well, and then people are gonna want to play something on the system that they already have.
Yeah, it won't sell their
But
console,
like,
but it'll sell the games that they own the studios for, I guess. So I mean, they're still making money. Just not
yeah,
as much, I guess.
yeah, they still like And the thing with Microsoft is that like I don't know if I've said this before, but they don't have to care about their game side of the market because they're a major tech company outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
So if they yeah, Microsoft isn't catching up with PlayStation, but Microsoft is what all of our computers run off of. So I mean,
Right. It's true, both them and Sony, really, yeah. They both have, like, tech things on their own, so yeah, they don't need the
yeah,
gaming part.
there's no like Sony like operating system for computers that everyone relies on for years to come. Like, but
Imagine if Apple got into gaming.
I mean, they kind of are trying, but it's not very good.
Right, yeah.
Sonic Dreams is kind of it. It's nothing worth like paying money for the Apple in the Apple Store for though.
Hmm.
I also don't have an Apple device, so there's that. So they also have console exclusivity on top of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm good. I Switch, PC, PlayStation, those are my guys.
Hmm.
Now, you
I will say this is an opinion though, but that's only because like we have Future Sight.
do you think
Yeah.
Microsoft is really going to catch up with Sony? Okay, most people saying opinion. I feel that. I dig that. I dig that. And you know what? You did pretty good tonight because it's true. I forgot I had to do the sound first. I didn't time that. It's been a while.
Get it, it's true,
Yeah,
it's opinion.
Yeah, Microsoft. There's no reason to buy an Xbox.
No, like unless you just really like Xbox, and don't get me wrong, Xbox, in my opinion, even though the shapes of their consoles are weird, they still have like there's just something inherently cool about like owning an Xbox. I just wish the games on it were just as cool as inherently owning the Xbox.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Like, I can't think of a lot of exclusives, yeah, nowadays, back then. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Halo and all that.
Like as long as like they just need to publish publish good games and then continue publishing good games.
Yeah, right.
But
I feel like Nintendo's the only one that actually had good luck with that over the years. Like, they're the most consistent, I feel like.
who?
Nintendo, the most consistent
yeah.
in terms of, like, churning out games on their system that people like every year. Well, PlayStation, like, even, like, when PS5 came out, we'd be like, where are the games on for the PS5?
Yeah, PS5 for like 2 or 3 years didn't have any games on it.
Yeah, so,
Because the album was so freaking bad that they had to make games for PS4 so people could buy them.
yeah.
So when they started making exclusive games and people still didn't have PS5s, like Final Fantasy 16 was quote unquote one of the worst selling games on PlayStation because no one had a PS5 to buy it on.
I think it was on PS4 as well, though.
No, 15 was exclusive to PS5.
Or was it was it PC? It was one of the two. I thought maybe it was.
might have been PC, but I
Yeah.
know it was on PS4.
Yeah, I guess it might have been just a PS5 game, yeah. But yeah, if it happens, yeah, when you put it on a console that no one has, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna sell.
Yeah.
So for a while, like PS5 didn't even have exclusives for it. And it was like, oh cool, this game's on the PS4. I'm gonna grab that real quick. I think the only game that was on PS5 that I really wanted to play was what's it called? Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and I could just get that on PC when I have the money for it.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever.
Yeah, it was like technically like a remaster, or like a.
No, it's literally just it's called Relink for no reason other than anime nonsense. It's its own original game.
Isn't that what the one was called though? I thought they had one before. Like
There was Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which was the sequel / glorified DLC packs to Grand Blue Fantasy versus.
Because that's what I'm thinking of, yeah, not Relink, yeah.
You're thinking of a fighting game, not the.
Not the game itself, yeah.
Yeah, Grand Theft Fantasy in and of itself is a mobile game,
Yeah.
and those are bad.
There's why would you do that? There are zero exclusives on Xbox at all, and all the cool stuff is stuff that you can get on anything else.
So like, Game Pass is cool, but
As you catch up with PlayStation,
like Game Pass is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, and they were really onto something with that, but like they kind of I forget how they funneled it specifically, but they were focusing way too much on it as they're acing the hole.
Well, I think a lot of the problem with Game Pass is that they take things off of it.
Yeah, that too. So it's like if you wanted to get a Sonic game that you like, Unleashed was on Game Pass for a while, and then it randomly wasn't on there anymore. It's like, oh, so like you can just cycle games in and out. That doesn't seem correct.
Yeah, it's a Netflix problem where it's like, oh, I guess I don't know when to expect this to be gone.
Yeah, it's like it creates FOMO, and then you have to find some other means of watching the show, or like
Yeah,
you
so
have to constantly stay on the subscription service so you don't miss the latest season of Squid Game 2 or whatever.
for them, they end up having people like subscribing, unsubscribing to their service because the things that they had on there aren't there or they aren't. And then yeah, they're going back
And
and
the ones
forth.
that are on there are either mid or bad or boring.
So yeah, it's I don't know why they do that. That they have to like save space or something. I don't know if that's that's it or
I
what.
think a lot of it has to do with like licensing too. Like, I don't know if the license expires, and it's like, no, you can't use the broadcast as show on your service.
I suppose.
But it really it is like, I'm not one for monopolies, but it really does like reinvent the wheel when every other streaming service has their own exclusive. So it's like it's just cable but with extra steps now.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how that would be the same with games. I don't know if games have that same problem with licensing as shows and stuff on Netflix do. Oh, maybe though.
Maybe like it's weird because GameFly, I'm pretty sure, is still going on, and you could probably still get any game that you want from them and then play it.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's any different than Game Pass. I wonder.
Yeah, Game Pass is just like the it's a copium GameFly, where it's like the only reason you have Game Pass is because you're trying to keep your Xbox meeting.
Yeah, you know you can just get.
No fault to you if you are, because again, the Xbox is a very cool looking console. It just needs something. It needs games.
Yeah, and you can just you can get Game Pass on your PC too now. So it's like, there goes there goes the console.
Yeah, it's like even Game Pass is getting a debuff every 48 hours, so it's like, I don't know, man. Modern gaming kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't get what you're saying.
If you're doing the meme.
Catch up with PlayStation. If we're talking Microsoft and not Xbox, they're ahead of PlayStation. Stupid. Microsoft is like $1 billion company.
Okay, yeah. He brought up he brought up the fact that it's like, yeah, no, they're like a major tech company. Like, they don't need the game industry to get their money.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, he did that.
Is trash, and only 8% of it is so much as bearable today, with the remaining 2% being the only actual good games. This is true.
I think he's gonna say fact, yeah.
I'm gonna also say facts. Like,
But
I haven't played NES games outside of Super Mario Bros. .com bundle. I played a little bit of Zelda. I played, I forget. But I played a couple NES games, and then when I look at the expansive NES library and like some of the games that are there, and it's like the stuff that they try to do, it's like, wow, this is kind of. I know it's like my nostalgia talking, but like I feel like they're either doing too much to the point where the game like kind of sucks, or like. But then again, it was also like. Nintendo's always kind of had that issue to where it's like it becomes like it's either like the games they release are either the most like revolutionary, groundbreaking things or whatever, or like not indie game, but like third party slop. So the NES, 90% of the NES library being third party slop, especially when licensed games were being a thing. Yeah, no, I think this is a fact.
Yeah, at least I feel like you think of it that way, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a small portion of the NES was actually worth buying. It's like the games you bought for that weren't like Mario, Duck Hunt, and maybe a couple other titles here or there were probably because you liked the movie, or your grandma bought it for you because she thought, oh, it's like, he likes this movie, he'll probably think the game's probably good too.
I did have a lot of movie tie-in games in the NES, yeah. Or just like
Yeah, a lot of
very
movie
basic
tie-in
ones.
games, a lot of knockoffs that were worse. Like it was the NES era of gaming was definitely a vibe check.
Damn. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, all right, okay. That's, you know what? Guys,
Stop the vote.
that is.
Dude, they're murdering that poll.
No, I'm a little bit older. I grew up on the NES. All right, I'm 32 years old. I grew up on the NES. I played a lot of the NES games, and
And I said, oddly enough, my first console was the GameCube. But
Uh,
I played NES titles sometime after that, but I know my first console was the Nintendo GameCube.
Mine was the Sega Genesis, I think, technically. I don't remember if I played
Really?
that or the Windows DOS. We had the computer first, I think. So like Cosmos, Cosmic Adventure, Wolfenstein 3D, Asteroids. We had
Hey
that.
man,
Yeah,
Asteroids is a good game.
right. But
I haven't played
yeah,
Wolfenstein or the other ones, but I know for a fact Asteroids are good. Like it's a fun like chill arcade game that you can just sink time into because it's very replayable if you just want something to relax on.
yeah. DOS's games weren't really made for the same purpose, as a lot of games nowadays are, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first official like console was the Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
Sonic 2, stuff like that.
Yeah. My first game on the GameCube, oddly enough, was Mario Party 7. And we had gotten it like towards like the GameCube's like end of life,
Mhm.
which was funny because I was 10 years old at that time. And I think the Wii came out like 2 or 3 years later.
Crazy.
And
Crazy to think that the Wii is that old now.
I know, right? The Wii started and finished in like single digit years. I know, actually, no, I think the Wii finished in like maybe 2011 or something, and then the Wii U came out. I remember like the Wii U coming out in like 2005, 6.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
Wii U was like a 12, 13 console. But yeah, no, like, I didn't have like growing up, I was always a Nintendo like NES kid. And it's like, no, I never had that. It was the GameCube, and before then, it was oddly enough also a PC because Sonic 3 and Knuckles was on my cousin's computer, and I played that for a little bit.
I think most of my NES game experience is from collections or watching ABGN play it, through his videos on YouTube. Like, oh yeah, NES games.
Yeah, NES games that aren't Nintendo products.
Right. So yeah, I didn't
NES
really have that
Remix,
much experience with them. Yeah.
NES Remix is my definitive NES experience, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like NES micro games; they're actually kind of fun.
They need to make SNES remix.
Dude, actually, they just need. I want more NES remixes in general, gosh darn it.
Yeah, 'cause they made that second one. That was also good. But yeah, they didn't make any more after that.
Who was the one I got? And I just hate that they didn't expand on that. I would love to have like, it's like, oh, like SNES remix, a Nintendo 64 remix, which probably would have been harder to make. But like, and then like, because it's old enough now, GameCube remix. And then if you want to feel super old, like, maybe like 5 years later, make a Wii remix.
They know they could do it because WarioWare has put games like that in their games before.
That is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically whenever you like play like 9 volts route.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, there's a game like you play Animal Crossing with the GameCube on like one of the micro games.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
so
I think
it's like, it's a, dude, it's just, ugh.
I think they actually had a Switch game in. No, not the new one. What was it?
I think it was. It was a WarioWare Move It. It was either Move It or Get It Together.
Yeah, they had like a Switch game, and it was like, which is crazy. It's like, oh, it's on the same console.
I think it was Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, the Three Houses one, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can pick a random dialogue option and be like, "Oh man, you're cool," or "You're stupid." And
Kind of boils it down.
stupid.
It's funny that it boils it down to just to that for that game. It's like, yeah, the Tea Party. Like, I mean, this is not what I play the game for, but yeah.
I'll be real. I was not a fan of the tea time segment in Fire Emblem Three Houses. I thought it was very weird.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best part of it, the game.
You're like, oh my gosh, you're being parasocial with the characters. The parasocial with characters is weird to me. Like, me personally, like, the taking characters out on a date and they're talking about how cool you are, or like, and a bunch of other stuff like that. Like, I don't vibe with the hyper self-insert, self-gratifying stuff. I would rather watch the characters, like, date other characters, if that's like a thing that we're doing. But like, unless I'm playing a dating sim, I was like, I don't want this in Fire Emblem. But I'm also a Taurus, so what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite like that level, but yeah, if it comes off as that to people that see it, yeah, they're like, oh, teacher and students.
I know the Japanese version of the face is really weird with it. The Japanese Fire Emblem face is really weird with the dating sim thing.
Yeah.
But Three Houses is fine. I just thought the parasocial thing was just kind of weird.
Definitely wasn't the only game that had something like that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, like it was kind of like a turn.
Yeah, because even Engage didn't have anything like that, which thankfully they didn't. Like when they said like, oh yeah, but we're not gonna implement any dating elements, I'm like, oh my gosh, finally a good Fire Emblem game, a good modern Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they're both good. Yeah, they have their things that people.
They're all good games. I enjoy, like, I didn't play Awakening or Fates, but I did play Three Houses and Engage. I didn't finish Engage because personal stuff happened that I don't get to. But I didn't finish Engage, and I did finish one storyline of Three Houses. And I liked it. It was Fire Emblem. It's a fun game, especially because I play casual mode, and I can kind of just move my pieces around, do the piece cool things sometimes, and then my neurons get activated.
Right.
Like it's not bad. Like,
yeah, like people kind of give Engage a lot of crap, but it's good. And
I don't know why. It's a very good game. It's
I think
very corny.
I think people think it's corny. The protagonist looks weird because he has two different hair colors.
Ailey, the male looks fine. I don't like how long female Ailey's hair is.
Yeah, she's kind of short for how long her hair is. Yeah.
Yeah, like if she were either taller or they just cut her hair like maybe like to like her lower back, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it almost drags on the floor.
But it's like, I guess your hair grew out a lot during those 100 years that you were asleep. I guess.
Yeah, I guess after that would happen, but like.
Yeah, guys, it's fine. Yeah.
It really back on her design.
Yeah. Toothpaste Chan, as they called her. When she first was revealed.
Yes, I remember that. That was such a freaking meme. It's like, bro, it was like crest mascots.
Yeah. But yeah, the combat stuff I think was fine and Engaged. I don't know if I like that over Three Houses or not, because they're different. But
one of the things I wish Engage let you do is Adjutant, so it's easier to build affinity with characters.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was part of the reason it took me so long to finish it was because I was trying to get all the conversations with characters I currently have, and then whenever I go to a new chapter, we get like 3 more characters. It's like, well, frick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that it's supposed to give you 1 million characters, so that because if you're playing on like a classic run and you lose a character, you're not just out of luck. But like, good grief, man, throw me a bone here.
Right. Yeah, the music is pretty banging and Engage as well.
Oh yeah, dude, I love the music. I honestly love the opening a lot more than Three Houses opening, but I'm also a Power Rangers enjoyer, so I love like the you can do it if you work together kind of music.
Yeah, it's definitely anime intro music.
Yeah, no, that is very much like 4Kids anime opening.
Yeah, but it's great. It's great though, yeah. Yeah, we can move on.
But I love it.
Yeah.
Everything about Engage is pretty good. I think the only one of the main reasons people didn't like it is because it doesn't have a new game plus. So you kind of have to commit to everything you do in that playthrough.
Yeah. But,
Alright. That was a super tangent. Anyway, anyway, yeah, he was saying he grew up with the NES and he's going to justify his opinion.
yeah.
I have to tell you guys, this is correct. It's
I knew you.
Never mind. He's based.
Those games are so shitty now. They're so bad.
Yes.
Oh, they're very bad. There are a couple of good ones. There are a couple of
Like, I'm sure there's some good non-Nintendo games there, but...
Oh, I like this one. Ooh, this one is fun. This one's a good time. Thank you, Zero Striker. Alright. Copel says...
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's saved...
What do you mean, no?
The genre would be nowhere near as popular today if that never blew up.
Now, this one... I kind of agree with that. It saved the horror game genre, because a lot, at least for indies, like, a lot of indie horror games are really bad. Like,
It definitely helped have people make a lot of like a lot of smaller games for sure.
yeah.
So you see a lot of that stuff out there, but not all of it's good.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, I watch a lot of YouTubers play these games, so, a lot of them pick the bad ones.
Yeah.
But there are so many bad horror games that don't know how to build atmosphere well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, once FNAF came out, not only did it, like, raise interest in the genre again, because, haha, deep lore hidden within Scary Realm, it also, like, basically it created, like, a boom of indie horror games. Yeah, a lot of them were FNAF ripoffs, but I've seen a lot more, like, horror games, like, come out of the woodworks. Yeah, a lot of them are bad, but a lot of them are, like, pretty interesting, too. Like, there was this one of the new games people are playing is, like, a game that reacts to, like, sound, like your actual microphone.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Chase you and react to the noise that you make in your microphone because of that, so it's very tense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it doesn't help, it helps that there's a lot of, like, FNAF has or at least not when it started, but it had a huge emphasis on lore, like actually like making this world like believable and scary. Like, giving everything background, so like the animatronics have a lot more depth to them, aside from just being jump scare machines. And like a lot of games are starting to like hone in on that a lot more too. Saving it might be a bit inflammatory, but I'm gonna say this is a fact. And what's your opinion?
Probably opinion, but FNAF definitely did make it somehow more approachable for like kids to get into horror games for some reason.
Yeah.
The game itself isn't all that approachable, but it seemed like it did have a big effect on like a lot of kids.
Kids, like the kids that didn't play FNAF, they watched Markiplier play FNAF.
Yeah, or Game Theory talking about it every other video.
God, that's skyrocketing that patch channel mode.
Yeah,
it was already doing pretty good, but like that was peak pre-patch Matt Pat.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it hurt it or anything, but it helped for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would absolutely say like as cringe as FNAF is, like it definitely made an impact.
I think that first part is okay, but once it starts saying it would be nowhere as popular today, it's kind of when I'm like, okay. Resident Evil was still doing really well with 7 and 8, so I mean, so it seems kind of like it's taking out the credit.
Yeah, that is true. I think didn't 7 come out after FNAF?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I think FNAF was before Resident Evil 7, yeah.
Like, what was the gap? How?
Let's see.
What is he doing? I can just look this up. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll look at I'll look up Resident Evil 7 if you want to look up FNAF.
Yeah, I'll look up FNAF if you want to look up Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 7 came out in 2017. That's pretty new.
August 8, 2014 was when FNAF first came out.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was still in high school.
I
Well, no, I
can't-
was starting high school when that happened.
I can't say if it blew up that year though or not.
No, I think it was definitely like the horror game to play, but apparently, like it skyrocketed because someone left a bad review on it, and then everyone was trying to check it out to see what he was talking about, and then they realized this game was peak or something.
Hmm. So I wonder if it had like the Among Us effect, where it like it was out for a while and people didn't know it existed, and then people started playing it like years later, and then it blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like FNAF, like I know FNAF was like it was a YouTuber game for at least when it first came out.
Mhm.
Like everyone was playing it. I had no idea what it was. I thought it was like another like flashlight horror game because of like the thumbnails alone. Because I never actually like seen the gameplay for it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is pretty neat. I'll watch this at some point. And then I don't know what compelled me to continue watching it. I think one of my cousins got into it, and I was watching it with him. And it was like watching Markiplier go through all of it, and it's like, oh shoot, this is actually kind of engaging. Like the micromanaging, like the tension. It's like, dang, it's like if I were playing this, I'd be stressed the heck out. And like that's kind of cool that a game can raise tension and do that, and make the jump scares your fault that it happened. And that's just because you open a door and oh, you're scared now. I don't know, like games don't do that very often.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job of creating like a new genre
Yeah, like
within the
I would
genre.
say it saved jump scare horror. That is for sure.
Hmm.
Because like jump scares in horror games always felt cheap. But like with FNAF, the consequence of failing is the jump scare. So when you feel that feeling of defeat and then you get jumped and your character dies, it's like frick, that's my fault.
Yeah, I also feel like he goes for opinion when they start like yapping a bit too much about it. When they start like elaborating.
It's like, if your quote unquote fact is more than 2 sentences long, it's an opinion.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll say it's fact, but the whole nowhere near as popular today. Like, I think Biohazard would have come out whether FNAF is popular or not.
Yeah. Hmm.
So if it wasn't FNAF, then Resident Evil probably would put horror back on the map. But FNAF, because of being a Chuck E. Cheese themed thing, definitely got kids into horror, and it made at the very least the indie horror scene blew up.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like indie horror definitely got a kick from that. I was like, that is a straight up fact. But horror as a whole, no.
Yeah, we'll see what he thinks.
What do you think? Would the horror genre be dead without Freddy Fazbear? Oh, this one. Oh, I like this.
It's contentious. Okay.
Yeah.
You see this? This is what I like to see. Freddy Fazbear save horror games. He did. It's a fact. No, it's absolutely true. No, he did.
Recount.
Let me take you guys back to a year.
You're fast.
2010. A lot of you will remember. Cast your minds back to 2010, a decade ago.
What, Toy Story 3?
Good grief.
A game came out, a horror video game, one that would change the landscape of gaming forever. That game was called Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Okay?
Amnesia was a 2010 game? I don't know why my brain thought that was older.
Horror games at the time didn't do. It was actually scary. Okay?
Yeah, Slender.
Because it limited your control.
Spider-Man, yeah. I remember Spider-Man was like the big scary guy for a while.
Yeah. I've been playing that on my computer and chugging.
Or scary, not actual like the lore about him is scarier than how he was in actual games.
Hmm. And the fact that the static thing was pretty scary. Trying to like not look at him. It's like basically just like Enderman in Minecraft, I guess. But like yeah, like
Slenderman feels like a creepypasta, not like an actual like horror game.
yeah, like the most scary thing about it was how like bad and how you couldn't see. So like the game being not as well polished is what made it scary.
Yeah, the game was extremely choppy.
Yeah, and I was playing it on like a computer that couldn't run it either, so like it was even worse. I was like 5 frames a second.
I can imagine like playing a micromanaged game like FNAF on a computer that lags on Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like the amount of anxiety that would creep up in me if my computer just peaked while I was trying to micromanage something. Like imagining my game freezing when I have to wind up Marionette's music box because I know I'm almost out of time and then he kills me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Amnesia being like being huge. It probably still is big among people that played it.
Yeah, there's still some
Like
new games in the series, I think, or that came out recently.
I think so. Because wasn't PG also supposed to be a part of this timeline? Or am I thinking of something? No, I'm thinking of Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Amnesia was its own thing. I remember this also being like a common thing. Also, yeah, one of the comments was saying that Markiplier being Markiplier was in full force when FNAF came out. But Amnesia. Oh yeah, there's Rebirth. When did this come out? Okay, yeah, Amnesia Rebirth came out in 2020. Windows, Linux, and PlayStation 4 on October 20th. It revived the Amnesia series. So I guess after The Dark Descent, Rebirth came out, call it 4 years ago. Very cool if you're a horror guy.
Yeah.
Like outside of like Markiplier, I'm not. So like I don't play horror games. I watch Markiplier and Ashley play horror games, and that's how I get my fix.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think horror games are one of that weird genres where people actually like to watch it more than they play it.
Yeah. I'm the same way with movies where I'll watch like a CinemaSins video of a horror movie before I actually watch the horror movie. It's like I'm very squeamish when it comes to horror, so I was like, if I can fulfill my morbid curiosity through someone else's eyes, I absolutely will.
Monsters, they just walked around, you had to avoid them, whatever, and not stay in the dark. It's a good game.
Oh yeah, that's right, because the more you stay in the dark, the more your insanity peaks. And then you start hallucinating and stuff.
Not do anything different. This new
Might be Eternal Darkness too.
Oh, he brought up a bro. What's up?
I said might be Eternal Darkness as well. That game is also about.
I'm thinking of a different game, so that's not the same game. Eternal Darkness is it kind of similar? Is it like another Amnesia first-person thing?
It's like
or?
GameCube games, third person, kind of like Resident Evil. But you had like a sanity meter, and if it got down too low, you would start to hallucinate things.
Oh yeah.
And then like, so like you would have like just random noises, or like things would start flying around, or yeah, you would just turn into a different person for some reason. It's like just hilarious stuff like that. It would try to troll you and say that your like save file was deleted or something.
Are you serious? It does that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Internal Darkness is
I can't
pretty
imagine
great.
like the amount of controllers I would have thrown through my window, like if I got to the jump scare that my save file was deleted.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Yeah,
that's incredible. That's super funny.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to how like Metal Gear Solid, I think it's 2 had like the what's his name? Is that I can't remember what his name is, but he tells you that like he like turns your controller off basically when you're fighting him. You need to like swap the controller to a different like port.
Yeah, that was like really freaking cool. I love it when like games never do that, but I love it when games do that whole like mess with your console kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't see it too much anymore.
Yeah, I think the only time you do see it is in like horror games like Doki Doki Literature Club or something like that.
Yeah. And that's like kind of like the point is to be kind of like.
Ooh, it's happening in real life.
Yeah.
What's her name? Monica's real, I guess. Doki Doki was really clever with it though, because they literally having to delete Monica's file from your save file to fix their problems is freaking wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's actually really clever.
It-
Didn't Undertale do that too, to where it's like after you beat the boss, like you have to beat the boss like 7 times or something?
I think yeah, he was like invulnerable or something like that, and he had to like do something specific to actually beat him.
Because I remember it involved like closing your window and then opening it again or something along those lines.
Something like that, yeah. Me player would know. He's the Undertale guy. I've only seen it played. I haven't played it myself.
I remember that being a thing where it's like the character something closes your game and you have to open it again at a certain number of times before you actually be like, oh, he has the 7 hearts. Oh my gosh, he's actually really strong. Look at him go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I love when games do stuff like that. Me personally, I would be too scared to close my monitor because my brain's gonna think, oh crap, I'm gonna lose all my save data. It's like if I close it improperly, it's like blah 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 blah. So like I would probably just sit there for like 30 minutes before I actually was like, all right, I'll bite the bullet and do it.
Child detected. Get him out of here. I don't think you're old enough to be watching.
Slender did it well, child detected.
Then all these games are coming. Then
Dude, how old is? I remember Slenderman was also in high school because I watched Smosh games like crack.
Yeah, it's very old. Yeah. That like that. The new arrival you saw is 2013. That's like the newer game. The 8 pages has older than that. 2012. Yeah.
The 8 pages was 2012. Oh my gosh. So what about Slender the Arrival?
Yeah. The arrival's like the one that was like on everything, the console and stuff like that. I played a little bit of it. I didn't like get the same vibe from it though.
2013.
It's only like a year later.
Yeah, okay. So there's Slender the Arrival and there's Slender the 8 pages. And then it's just kind of 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
They cared enough about this game to keep track?
I guess. I mean, it's the only game. Then maybe that's all they have.
Okay. That's a weird flex, but alright. Go off, King. Happy 10th anniversary, I guess. I guess 11th now, but still.
in 2014, another game comes out called Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay? And Five Nights at Freddy's changed the world. You want to know why? Because it took the games back to like very base elements. It's just anxiety. That's all it is. It's an anxiety
Bro.
game, and it was so good because your brain is constantly racked. So rather than Amnesia, which is like, okay, you can't see anything, just hide in this dark spot for 15 minutes and hope something goes away, where you're just sitting there not doing anything except one thing, Five Nights was like, okay, fuck it, you gotta do 50 things at once, and if you don't, a big scary bear is gonna pop out and eat you. This is excellent.
Oh, yeah, that's such a simplified way of explaining that. Careful, if you don't follow your taxes properly, a big scary bear is going to come from out of your bed and eat you.
The second game was hilarious, because I don't know if you guys remember the second game, but it was like, I gotta check the hallways, I gotta turn on the lights, I gotta mash this jukebox. Like,
Yeah, no, 2 was the anxiety simulator. FNAF 1 had fewer bells and whistles. You just had to like be good with timing your door closes.
Mm-hmm.
Like FNAF 2 had vents you had to check. You had to constantly scan your flashlight in the hallway. You had to freaking put on your Phasma mask because if somebody was in the vent saw you, like they'll think you're Freddy Fazbear if you have the mask on. But if you have the mask off, they kill you. Like you have to keep track of. I don't know if I said the music box already, but you have to keep track of Marionette's music box. You have to make sure if Foxy's in the hallway, you got to wear your mask so that he. Oh no, you have to flash Foxy in the face because he knows what the mask is. Like, then there was like then there was like the the mangle coming from the ceiling that you had to keep track of. There's the broken animatronics. I forget how they work, but like, you gotta deal with all that. Like, FNAF 2 was like the anxiety game. FNAF 1 was manageable anxiety. FNAF 2 was, if you're not having somebody remind you to do things, at least for me, I'm gonna, like, that game would kill me. It's like there were so many things I gotta micromanage and be reminded to do because my brain will tunnel vision on one thing, and then something from the other corner will just kill me. It's like, gosh darn it.
So funny. That game was just, there's 50 things you gotta do at all times. This is like saying Saw saved horror movies. It literally did. What are you talking about? Saw brought horror back to mainstream. Dude, are you...
Actually, Saw and Friday the 13th was Jason, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like Saw and Friday the 13th were like, when most people think of horror, they think of Jason Voorhees. And I'm not too. I have the Saw's one of those, like, it's super iconic, but my brain hasn't remembered it exists. But when it does, it's like, oh yeah, dude, Saw's huge.
Yeah, it definitely is a good mainstream horror for sure.
Saw was like the movie was FNAF before the FNAF movie.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Honestly, like, I figured the FNAF movie was just going to be more like Saw.
But yeah, it's not as much torture stuff in FNAF though, so it makes sense it's not.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, true enough. Like that was like you're stuck in a room, do this task or perish.
I mean, Saw was so popular that it created businesses in like actual like towns and stuff, like escape rooms and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's like it like created business outside of itself.
It created the escape room genre. That's kind of sick, actually.
Yeah, so like I mean, other things have done it like 999 is a game on the DS. It's same creators as Danganronpa, if you've heard of that.
Oh, nice.
But it's just an escape room game. Like you're all in this place, you try to escape. So I think that when did it come out? I guess it came out after Saw, so it may have even been inspired by it.
Probably. I mean, Danganronpa, I could see like Saw roots in Danganronpa. So like,
yeah.
In general, I can see Saw roots there. So
It did,
like,
yeah, it did, yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah,
and the only way to get out is to compromise your morals. It's just the opposite of compromise your morals versus Saw's you need to like understand that you are a messed up individual and you need to learn your lesson one way or another.
So Saw was 2004, and yeah, 999 came out in 2009. So yeah, 5 years later. So yeah, I mean, it's possible, or they just had the same idea. I guess I don't know. But yeah.
Like I like that. I like movies like that. I like it when the horror has a point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just torturing the main character for no reason.
Or like, scary.
Yeah.
Scary sound.
It's like a lot of horror movies exist to torture the main character for no reason. And it's like, come on, man.
It's
but
like
with Saw, in like movies like Saw and Predator, like I like because it's like Predator, like the Predator is going to be hunting down like serial killers and dangerous like individuals that are not savvy to the human population.
I feel like they just attack anyone.
Oh yeah, they attack anyone, but like they send criminals to there to get hunted down.
Sometimes, yeah. I guess it depends on the movie, but yeah, because the first one was just military.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they just went in because they were the military U.S. like squad or whatever sent in was like to fight like some other country. It turned out that what they were sent to fight wasn't them. There was this predator thing. I think
they were pretty much sent to their deaths.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so that one was military. 2, I think, was more just probably like civilians. If I remember right. Because it's like in New York or something like that. Like just in like a city. What was 3 again? Was 3 Alien vs Predator already? I don't remember. But
I think it was the 4th one. That it was. I don't know if it was the 4th one, but it was the one that had Eric from That 70s Show play a serial killer that was just really friendly with everybody.
Yeah, so that one might have been more like criminals.
That was probably the one. That was the one I watched.
Yeah, so maybe like they wanted the prey in that movie to be like criminals fighting the predator. I guess maybe.
That you would want to be killed, but somehow make it out of it.
Have you seen Prey? That's a new one.
Yeah, and then there was I haven't seen the new one, but I heard that one was also kind of good.
Yeah, Prey's kind of like if it was in the past, like older, like more
like a
developed.
Predator.
Yeah,
Far Primer, basically.
kind of, yeah. So that's kind of, so they're just kind of fighting like um not as developed humans.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
Which
of
is
course,
also like
yeah.
when it's like the horror has like a point to it. Like there's like it's easy copy paste. Like this is what's going on. This is what you have to do to stop it if you even can stop it. Like I don't know. Like it's probably not for me because I like my cheesy conflict resolution. The bad guy is defeated and we all live happily ever after.
Hmm.
Because horror movies are allergic to that. They kind of annoy me more than anything. But
Right.
when the horror has like a point, like maybe like the later Saw movies and like what's it called? Like the Predator movie I saw, I liked because I thought that one wasn't really scary. It was more intense because it was
Yeah,
like shoot, you're being hunted down. Like I don't think Predator in general was a horror movie. It was more so an action movie that had
horror
scary things.
elements. Yep, it's kind of a hybrid movie.
Yeah, it was the Resident Evil 5 of horror movies.
Like Aliens is more of a horror movie. That's like sci-fi
Yeah,
horror.
yeah, that's a horror movie with action elements where it's more horror. Whereas
Hmm.
like Predator was more like espionage with horror steps.
Yeah, mostly what made it more horror-like was the fact that you could turn visible and kind of stalk them. So it kind of made it tense for that reason.
Yeah, so it's like he was like they're always being hunted, so you're always worried for the characters or whether or not they were gonna make it.
Hmm.
And he was pretty gory with his kills because he would show them off as trophies, I think, right?
Yeah, he
Like he
would.
would leave them in spots for people to see and be like, "Oh my gosh, you did the thing."
Yeah. My father was one of his collection. Like he had his whole thing in his ship, all the skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
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 But yeah.
In terms of horror pro tags, I think Predator is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But again, that's probably because on virtue of it's not really horror; it's more so an action movie with scary movie elements.
Hmm.
Are you kidding me? That's literally, you are literally wrong there. That is actually an opinion. Saw saved horror films. It really did. Our good friend Matt Harmon says most people who identify as
And Harmon.
gamers are boring people because gamers aren't an identity or ideology. You don't see other hobbies like golfers identify themselves like that because they have beliefs outside of their hobbies. Gamer is a placeholder identity.
I mean,
Kind of.
gamer is cool when you're in middle school. Outside of that, no, I don't. Anyone who kind of just say like, "Oh yeah, I'm a gamer," it's like that. They're usually pretty cringe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Like.
know anyone that still refers to themselves as a gamer. Like, a lot of it is kind of it's borderline derogatory at this point with how
What?
overused it used to be.
Yeah, they say it to be ironic. Like, yeah, I'm a gamer.
Like, it's not even like half the time it wasn't even used ironically. It was more so like
Like
they
now,
tried making because a lot of nerds get bullied a lot for being weird and all this other stuff, and it's
Mhm.
like they try to make their hobbies seem cooler than they actually are. So it's why we have a lot of corny shirts that are like, haha, I'm a gamer, not because I don't have a life, but because I choose to have many.
Yeah,
Or
right.
don't mess with me, I'm about to level up and you look like just enough EXP.
Yeah.
A lot of them are also like vapid with horny posting for some reason. Like I'm forgetting specifically what the shirts were, but one example I remember in my head was like, haha, can I peek at you? Blah 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 blah, and then it's like, haha, ha 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 ha,
Nice
we get
pun.
it. It's a pun. It's a sex pun. Yay, haha, nerds are so relatable, right, guys? As someone who is a nerd and a hashtag, a trademark gamer, please stop.
Please don't.
Stop it. Get some hope. Like acknowledge that your hobby is kind of just a hobby, and like please move on with your life.
Yeah, let's say you're like a streamer or a content creator, I guess. It's not so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
It's like middle school like kind of semi sucked for me. I didn't go through any intense bullying, but like like people thought like the music I listened to was cringe, and they were vocal about it. But it's like I didn't care.
Right.
It's like I know what I am. I'm not gonna be like. I'm not gonna act like this is a cooler hobby than it is. I know video games are a nerdy hobby, but I like them. So, like, not enough people get that, and it's like I don't know. Like people like it gives peaked in middle school vibes, or like I never let go of the middle school.
Could it be true that labeling yourself as a gamer means you have nothing more interesting to say?
Like that is, and honestly, that's true. Like, he's, it's one thing if it's like, oh yeah, I'm a biologist. Like you're labeling yourself after your career, the thing that you were aspiring to be and do and have accomplished. Like, there's a difference between identifying as like I say, oh yeah, I'm a doctor, or oh, I'm a heck, I'm a philosopher, I'm a this and that. Saying I'm a gamer is not indicative of really anything. Like a
Yeah.
philosopher, you can at the very least have an interesting conversation with. Most of the people that work to where like being a gamer is their only personality, only ever talk about video games and only ever talk about their favorite video games. And like it kind of falls into the ballpark of like how anime fans really love shilling their anime, and they call themselves weeaboos and otakus. It's the exact same energy.
But like, if you take it further than that, and you say like, oh, I make content on YouTube, I'm a content creator, or I stream on Twitch or something, that's more of a profession. So you can say that.
Yes, you can say you're a professional Twitch streamer. People aren't gonna like see that with reference or anything, but
But
you
it's,
can say that that is a thing that you have aspired and have accomplished to do.
yeah, like if you're
Being a
doing something
gamer
with
just
it.
means I do my dailies in Genshin and then log off.
Yeah, like everyone, like anyone could be a gamer.
Yeah, anyone could be a gamer. It's not like that's like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a gym bro." Like gym bros don't call themselves gym bros.
Yeah, everyone else does, but they
Yeah,
don't.
and that's more so like semi derogatory, but it's like you don't like I don't know like it's like gym. What else? Like because most other things you can label yourself are usually professions and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's like oh like I'm a CrossFitter. It's like yeah oh, yeah that means you're an athlete. Like you do cool athletic things. Like I, gamer is probably like one of the like not worse, but like probably one of the lamer things you can identify yourself as. So when people like take pride in what a true gamer is, it's like, come on, man. Like you guys are already uninteresting as is. Don't be exclusive about it too.
Mm.
Like yes, I think mobile gamers are gamers to an extent. I think that freaking people who log in, kick rocks in Animal Crossing for an hour, sell them to Tom Nook, and log out are also gamers because they play video games in their preferred genre.
Hmm.
Like it's such a broad thing that people kind of want to keep special, and I think part of it is also because that like being a nerd isn't nearly as special as it used to be anymore.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people gatekeep, and a lot of people do this and that because they want to keep that title that they were so proud of back in high school, middle school, and hold on to it. But as it becomes more normal, it's like you dare not be as special as they used to be. So a lot of their gamer shirts are just even cringier than they were before. It's just, I don't know. Like, bottom line, this is a fact.
Yeah, probably leaning that way.
Well,
Hmm?
I have something to tell you guys. It's an opinion.
No.
I'm a proud gamer, and I've been a gamer in a button-up shirt. I'm boring for playing games, okay? I'm a gamer till I die.
Proud gamer asterisk.
Life.
What are you talking about, dude?
Why did he have that prepped?
It's game rule.
Stop the cat.
Stop.
We'll end it here. You guys get it, right? You get it. Yeah. All right. Cringe. I agree. Yeah. Okay. No, this is true. Yeah. I think this is young people. So it's important to not let the stuff that you consume become your entire life.
Yes.
You,
A more non-nerd example would be like people's obsession with The Office when it first came out, and like, or like how people are obsessed with like books, like the Harry Potter universe, and how that's been like their entire lives, or Disney adults, or like Pretty much, like people who solely exist in their hobbies. Like, yeah, as a kid, I used to solely exist in video games because I was a child and I thought Sonic going fast was very cool. But as you get older, you develop more hobbies and other things that. Oh, I'll call her back. All right. But as you develop more hobbies and just in general, there's other things to do as you get older and have more life experiences. If your hobby is the only thing interesting about you, eventually that's going to get old because you're not the type to go out, try new things, have new experiences, blah 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 blah. That's why a lot of people, when they're like dating, is why being boring is like an actual like cardinal sin because that means you don't have enough outside world experience to really maintain anything interesting outside of like our general hobby. I don't know.
Hmm.
At least for me, that's kind of how I see it. And I know half of that is me yapping, but like that is to an extent like how I see it.
Yeah, I see.
Like making your, I don't know.
You feel me? You can like things without it becoming your entire identity. Okay? That's all. Lucky Charms suck. No one is trying to eat shitty.
This is so targeted.
Dick.
He's a huge dick.
Bro, what does this guy have against the leprechaun? The leprechaun's a chode for not wanting kids to steal his prized possessions?
Right?
I don't know, man.
That's
If
what.
some kid broke into your house and stole your Pokemon cards, you'd be pretty upset.
Start eating them.
Yeah, I think you they ate them. Because now I'm actually not getting that back.
Yeah.
At the very least, if you tore it in half, I can angrily, begrudgingly glue it back together and then run it again. But like,
I'm not getting back at you chomped that and swallowed.
good grief, like that goes back to the whole like eating somebody's food in front of them, like ticking me off. And it's like, bro, like, not only are you stealing my stuff, but you're making it to where I literally cannot get it back.
Yeah, unless you want me to rip your throat open, I guess, or something.
Yeah, it's like I would rather you just offer ransom.
Yeah.
At least get something out of it.
Yeah.
Good grief, man. I'm sorry, this is so targeted for like no reason.
Yeah, right.
I hate Lucky Charms. Okay, already an opinion, but like,
I mean, yeah, a lot of cereals aren't really made for you, maybe, then. The sugar.
and also like, actually, they are kind of just Cheerios with sugar on them, but it's like that's it.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's not.
Yeah, a lot of cereals are kind of that way because they're all kind of made with similar ingredients. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, drinking the sweet milk after you eat cereal is like the grand prize after eating cereal. Like, I don't drink milk a lot because I'm lactose intolerant, and cereal and milk I've just kind of stopped making a habit of eating.
Hmm.
But like, the fact that it's like after you eat your bowl of cereal, you notice the milk is like, oh my gosh, this actually tastes kind of sweet. Then you just chug it. That's what I do. Like, I still do that. And as a kid, that was like the holy grail for me.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what Colin's deal is, but he has like a bunch of emojis in his username, so probably not much going on up there.
Right.
Do Lucky Charms suck? Nope, that's just your opinion. They are magically delicious. No one is trying to eat shitty Cheerios with stale marshmallows. They make the milk way too sweet. I am trying to eat shitty Cheerios with marshmallows.
That's why you eat Lucky Charms, for the marshmallows.
Who hurt you? What happened to you?
For real.
God is a dick. He's a leprechaun.
Did your dad cosplay as a leprechaun and cheat on your mom or something?
He's not like, he's not hurting people. He's just getting away from kids who won't leave him alone.
That's what I was saying. It's like, bro, like.
Am I a dick? You know?
Yes, you are Dick Coney.
Kind of.
That's what the chat said.
It's hacky. I feel like Serial Tier List is the content creator equivalent of like, so how about this airline food? If you ever see me do a Serial Tier List, it's a cry for help. But if you did see the Serial Tier List, you would on my YouTube. Guys, we only need about 800 more subs to hit 25K. We started taking YouTube seriously a couple months ago. It's been doing pretty well. If you are in the future and you're watching us on YouTube, you better sub. You have no excuse. These people are on a wholly different website. I need you to sub, I need you to like, and I need you to comment. I don't care about what. I don't care. I just want the algorithm to like me. I don't care. But I will read it.
I do love how honest Coney is about like this kind of stuff. Is like, dude, like I need the algorithm to like me. Please engage.
Somehow able to. They should ban people from sharing any information from any games with strategy. Otherwise, strategy creation is instantly killed. There's no.
That's an opinion.
Loves in Cuphead if you know that the invincible dash is broken.
How's that to do with strategy? What?
Any developers are somehow able to, they should ban people from sharing any information on any games with strategy. Cuphead is not a game with strategy.
Yeah, if you're saying that's a game of strategy, then every game is a game of strategy.
Yeah, that's just learning patterns and like shooting when you're supposed to shoot them. Like that's not strategy. That's sequencing.
Yeah, like whether you can do it or not is also part of the game. Like if you could pull it off.
Yeah, so he's already wrong about that.
Yeah, he's wrong and opinionated.
Yeah, this is already automatically an opinion. It's like, second, should be able to ban sharing any information. It's like, I know like regarding strategy, but like that's like saying like if they are allowed to do that, then they can take that further and just ban like reviews in general.
Or like playthroughs and stuff, and people wouldn't like that.
So people can't get information on the game. Period. I get that it's primarily been like. I don't like when people exploit the game. It's disrespectful to the developers. It's like, no, it is not. If they want to take that as disrespect, they can. But like it's not disrespectful because it's like they're playing your game enough to find ways to break it. Like that's pretty neat if you ask me. Like your game made it if it's in speedrunner categories. Yeah, ban people from sharing information. It's like then like forums like Reddit and a bunch of these other places would have like half their stuff taken down.
Right.
Like guide making YouTubers would not be a thing, so that's a huge portion of YouTube just gone. Like that's a horrible suggestion.
Yeah, so no.
Oh, there's also this fun neat thing called play your own way. Like you don't have to. Not everyone follows meta. Not everyone follows the best guide or the best build. Some people just play the game the way they want to play it.
It's not like it's following you around, trying to tell you how to play the game while you're playing it. You get to look for it.
Yes. Yeah. Also, you find that stuff on your own, and then you share it with people that are trying to find ways to cheat things.
Yeah.
Like, there's reasons information is distributed. Like that. Yeah, I would say like actual. That's absolutely bait. Yeah.
A fact, or is this an opinion?
There's not a single fact on that thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, like, so we try to make it seem like it's debatable, but it's like no. This is borderline unanimous.
I'm cutting it. That one was for fun.
Almost for fun.
That one's the filler episode.
Literally censorship. What dev would do that?
I mean,
what developer?
You did the sound again.
No talking about my game.
You are not allowed to talk about my game.
What the hell is that?
Dude, Nintendo did that with Daemon X Machina, and that killed the game.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It is so sad because Daemon X Machina is so freaking cool.
The braid guy.
Braid guy.
I want to make games for people who read Gravity's Rainbow.
Oh,
Rainbow.
that's true. Mugman, good friend of the channel. Good friend of the channel. 3D Mario games after Odyssey will never reach the same heights that game did.
Mugman. Just sound like Cuphead.
Happy every time. The movement, Cappy, Odyssey in general brings 3D Mario makes it a league of its own, and nothing will ever stand up to it unless they just. I can't tell what that. Hold on. Copy. Is Mario?
I don't think so. They're like.
I mean, Odyssey's a great game, but I don't know if I really say it's my favorite. So I just This is wrong.
Yeah, like, it's like Odyssey. Like, I will agree with what Coney said in other videos, where he's like, Odyssey is a treasure that everyone should experience, but like, oh, 3D Mario games after Odyssey. Okay.
I mean, so it's basically saying that that's the best game. And you can't make anything better. It's like, well, is it the best game? And
I
can you?
disagree.
Yeah,
Galaxy exists, but
yeah. I
like
like Galaxy
Odyssey.
more. Yeah,
Yeah, I honestly like Galaxy a lot more than Odyssey. Odyssey is a darn good game though,
yeah.
and the presentation was on point. Like, dude, I want like if they could remake Galaxy with Odyssey's visuals, chef's kiss.
Mhm.
Or at
Yeah.
the very least, like touch it up because Galaxy kind of had its own visual style going on, so I probably wouldn't want it with Odyssey's visuals. But
Yeah, they haven't
a
had 3D.
graphic like update, basically, like same visual style but with better graphics, basic, I guess.
I guess they haven't really had a 3D Mario game since Odyssey, but I guess they had Bowser's Fury, but it's not really its own thing, I guess, per se.
Yeah, that's a side thing.
But
Also, oh
yeah,
my god, you're right. We haven't had a 3D Mario game since Odyssey. That's the only one that hasn't double dipped yet.
yeah. So I don't even have reason people can even say that.
So that's what just I keep forgetting that they only really released like I want a mainline title for per console. Like that's weird to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they do like a
whatever.
2D. They had Wonder, but yeah, they didn't haven't had a 3D one.
Yeah, like I don't know, but like the thing with 3D Mario games is that they're not supposed to like reach heights that can be compared to each other. They're all unique, just genuinely good experiences.
Yeah.
Like Galaxy is, I'll also say Galaxy's peak, but Galaxy has a lot of cool stuff going for it. Sunshine had a lot of cool stuff going for it. 64 was a trailblazer that people still speedrun to this day.
Hmm.
Like, freaking, and then Odyssey is like they're another take on the open world version of Mario exploration. But instead of like going into a portal, you are just chilling in that world planet or that side of the world for a bit, looking on a scavenger hunt. It's kind of like how Mario Galaxy 2 had the Greek stars, but that was just the game,
Yeah.
which I thought was neat. Don't get me wrong, but it's pretty neat. I like it. They're all pretty good. So whatever new thing they try with the next Mario game, if they do have to copy Odyssey, I am perfectly okay with it being more Odyssey. Odyssey kind of needed DLC anyway. I would have loved to explore like Delfino Plaza or something.
Right. There was something that I saw about Delphino Plaza and Odyssey, but it might have been just a mod.
Yeah, it was a
I
mod.
don't think it was like any like unused assets like you see with other games, where it's like, oh yeah, they were starting on this, but they just didn't finish it. And it's like
Yeah.
in the file somewhere.
Like how L found L the L in Mario 64 was supposed to be like files for Luigi.
Yeah, because even was it Miyamoto said it, but like whoever's working on it said that they wanted co-op, but they couldn't get it to work. So
That's fair.
like they had the files in there for like doing it, but they weren't implemented anyway in the
Yeah.
final game. So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just leave files in there because
Hmm.
it doesn't affect the game either way.
Yeah, so like we'll leave it there, whatever. Yeah.
But
But yeah, no. Wrong and opinion.
yeah, no.
Mario
Same.
Odyssey, the peak of Super Mario. Forever and ever. What do you
Just
think?
the bar with you.
I'm stopping the count. This is fake. And I think you know it's fake, Mugman, right? This is bait. It's
Yeah.
not bait. It's Mugman. I know you're bait. You're.
He's trying to give you the outmug, man. Please cooperate with him.
Side, you thought absolutely wrong. Why would I think that? Why would anyone think that? Why did you think that?
Explain yourself.
You are the cereal guy, right? 64 comes out and you're like, Nintendo will never top this. And then they gave him a jetpack, and you're like, okay, Nintendo will never top this. And then they put him in space, and you went, you said Nintendo will never top this. And then they gave you Odyssey. You are continually being wrong over and over. Nintendo is magic. Kevin says you can judge a game's quality objectively using different aspects critics use, like control, story, gameplay, or character complexity, acting. I've heard many people say you can't objectively judge how good a game is. The game's quality is all down to personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit half and half. I guess maybe like it's not you can't entirely judge it that way, but yeah, you can definitely still judge it.
Get an impression
Yeah.
off of a review. Or no, it's not necessarily from reviews like control, story, character, complexity, acting,
But
blah blah blah.
you're just like rating like okay, the graphics is good, the gameplay's fun, you like certain aspects of it.
Characters are really engaging.
Of course,
Acting's
the
pretty good.
gameplay being fun is kind of subjective because it's fun to you, I guess. But yeah, like there's certain aspects that are just like inherently like yeah, that just is better. But what it makes it
there are objectively good games, but let's think. What's a game I don't like that's actually really good? Like, uh,
are you a Last of Us 2 hater?
huh?
Are you a Last of Us 2 hater?
And I jumped off that train ages ago, but yeah, I'll use that. Mostly not because I hate Last of Us 2, but the survival horror genre I don't like it. Like the Last of Us games are incredibly good. They are like objectively like story's engaging. Like you say what you want about like the whole Joel dying. I think it's BS too, but you know, Abby sucks as a character. Like everyone in there sucks. But like they're bad characters put into a really good story, and watching them interact is interesting. But um, like Last of Us 1 and 2 are objectively really good games. Like story, acting, like gameplay, graphics, it gets a 5 on all those charts.
But then people just don't like it based on their own views and whatnot. So they're like, oh, well, I like this game.
Yeah, like I am a gotta go fast cartoon Speed Boy enjoyer, so I'm not gonna like it as much as the hyper serious, dramatic, sad boy horror game.
I mean, sad boy. But yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. Yes, it's a tone.
Yeah,
It's a tonal difference for sure.
yeah. Personal preference is a huge part in whether or not you can subjectively say a game is good. Games are objectively good, can be objectively good, and just not fit your preferences.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that. Or, like, they want to champion their game and say other games are bad. Like, it's like how people say, it's like, oh, like, this 3D, I love this, action RPG, where, like, I love Kingdom Hearts, the gameplay is so solid, fluid, and all this other stuff, but I don't like turn-based games. And so instead of saying Dragon Quest is good, but I don't like it, they just say Dragon Quest is garbage.
Or like it's not as good as this game. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
It's like
yeah,
apples to oranges comparison, and you just don't like turn-based RPGs, so it's not good to you, which is fine, because like that's your opinion. But like,
yeah, it's not a fact.
you have to remember, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Yeah. So, so is this fact or opinion then based on
I'm
that?
gonna say this is fact, because this makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like he might lean that way based on how he does this usually.
Yeah, like you can objectively say a game is good, but it just doesn't fit my personal preferences. So a lot of people say the game is bad because it's not my preference of game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say like Horizon Zero. Oh, I will say Horizon. That's personal reasons I'll say Horizon's a bad game, but objectively, most people's experience with Horizon Zero Dawn is objectively good. 5 stars, 10 out of 10, and all that. It just doesn't fit my preferences because, good lord, the characters have way too much, and the open world is kind of meh. But, like, it's an objectively good game to everyone else, but for me, I don't like it. So therefore, it's subjectively not the best game for me.
What do you think? Can you objectively...
But I'll say this is a fact.
Oh my god, look at that split.
Yeah, it's split. Yeah.
Split. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, it looks like most people are saying this is fact. But it's not. No,
Explain yourself.
You can't objectively judge a game's quality because it all comes down to the person writing the review. All judgments are subjective.
I get what he's saying.
There's some bias and other things, yeah, I guess, but
Yeah, you can, like it really does come down to what you're willing to put up with, but like Bayonetta 2 is an objectively good game. Like, it, well, story's kind of like, I'll give story like a 3 out of 5. But, like, gameplay, graphics, like, acting, kind of, I'll give that one a 3 as well. But, like,
Maybe
it
there's
is
too
in
many.
the good category because it knocks out what it's trying to do like right out of the park.
Guess
Like, it is
maybe.
an objectively good game. It just might not be to your preferences. So like, I don't get. It's like, yeah, it's the whole like, oh, like you can't judge it. He's also not talking about a review specifically. He's just saying like,
You like playing it.
yeah, like this is what like you can judge. You can use critic points to judge the quality of a game. And I agree 100%. Like, yeah, like, you get people like IGN that are very bad at what they do unless it's a COD game, but there's also, like, freaking, there's IGN, there's, like, a GameSpot, there's, like, freaking the Scott the Waz that talks about every game under the sun. Like, he can make a video out of any prompt imaginable, but, like, there's like Moist Critical in his reviews on things, and it's like like, if everyone's saying this game is good, you can kind of say it's like you can kind of assume it's a good game to those people.
I guess maybe Coney's trying to say that there's too many things that could be like subjective, so that it can't be like maybe it's like the percentage is just too high. So that's why it's hard to be completely objective about it.
Maybe, like, sorry, we are back.
Okay. That would make sense, though, yeah. Yeah, nothing is 100% with that, for sure. It's all good.
But yeah, I'm standing by this as wrong. Like, I get that, like, if you're going off of specifically critics' reviews on games, like, that's one thing. Like, you can't always judge someone's opinion on something. That's not and make that wrong. Like, freaking, like, I watch the Angry Joe show a lot, and I don't always agree with, like, the stuff they talk about. Like, especially if it's a movie I've seen and I really liked it, and they bring up points to where it's like, that doesn't always make sense, but, like, I get why you would come to that conclusion. Like, the big point of contention being the Mario movie. Like, they were not a fan of it, which is fair because I liked the movie, but it was very much like a member berry generator more than it was an actual film. Friggin', but like one of the things I didn't agree with was the whole Peach thing. They were pointing out that like Peach was being a girl boss or whatever, and it's like, that's not true. Kind of like they explain pretty well like why she's as capable as she is. Granted, you know, it was in like a 10-second montage, so like they could have fleshed it out a bit more, like a lot of things in the movie, which is one of my complaints is that like I was worried that with all these characters being revealed to be in the movie, they're not going to get proper time to flesh out their arcs, and I was right about that, unfortunately. But freaking like the Peach being a girl boss thing didn't make sense to me. I get that like
the
a
queen.
generic like queer lady, whereas like Peach in Smash has more elegance and like sass to her movements. So I could see them like dumbing her down that way. And
Yeah, like
be cookie cutter girl boss.
It's kind of a different Peach for sure, but that's fine. They can have their own interpretation.
Yeah, we have like a Yandere Senpals, man. I think that's very funny.
He's kind of Paper Mario-esque, actually, in a way.
Honestly, yeah, it's like how he is in the RPGs almost, but like they turned the simp up to like a 10.
Yeah, I guess it kind of fits with maybe New Peach.
Yeah.
Less so with like the other one. It's like it's like Peach is kind of soft-spoken and kind of just Then he's like, if he's like that with that one, I don't know.
And I will say they could have made Peach a little girlier in the movie.
Yeah, maybe
like, the whole point was that she was like elegant, girly, but like she was also pretty capable on like the side games, like sports and Super Princess Peach.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to like just combine all that together, and maybe it didn't quite work. I don't know.
I feel like I knew what they were trying to do, but they, again, if the movie had like better explanations for things. Like maybe it would explain why she's so stoic, but and maybe she gets an arc to where she does embrace her feminine side. Who knows? Anyway, but uh, what I was trying to get at is that you're not always going to agree. You shouldn't always agree with everything a critic says all the time, ever. Like at the end of the day, you should form your own opinion on things. But there are things merits a game has to make it objectively good.
Yeah, that's why they have Game Awards.
Yeah.
Because there's something you can base off of just at things in the game itself. But yeah, there's a point. Yeah, when it is just your opinion. But yeah,
It's like there's no opinion like your own at the end of the day, but there are objective things that make a game objectively good. You can have an objectively good game and have it be boring as like paced, but like everything's airtight and doing what it's supposed to do. It is a good game, pretty much most of the time.
Mm.
So in this tweet specifically, you will see. Hold on, I wish I had like a.
I mean, Funglass.
Pointer? What do I have? I'll fuck it. All right, you can see in this. Thank God for the HyperX wireless headset. You can see in this. You can judge a game's
Just
quality.
point at the screen normally,
Yeah.
dude.
Different aspects critics use, such as controls, yes, writing, story, kind of, maybe.
Kind of, yeah.
Character complexity, wrong. I don't give a shit what a Nier Automata fan wants to know about the game's character complexity. It's boring.
You know what? That's fair. I will give him that. Like nothing I see about Nier Automata looks particularly interesting.
I mean, I like what I've seen of it, but yeah, it definitely is a game that takes a lot of interpretation.
Yeah, it's one of those like you're playing this because of the deep artsy storyline, not because the game's like particularly fun, which I'm sure the game is, but like it visually, like just from gameplay alone, it didn't sell me on much. It didn't help that when she was first announced, all the Coomers focused on was the fact that her butt was big,
Yeah.
so it was like even less of a reason to really care.
It's kind of like Stellar Blade now.
Yeah, Solid Way is just like the new Nier Automata, which
In a
sucks
way.
because Solid Blade is also really kind of boring. The character is milquetoast as ever living heck. So it's like if she had like Bayonetta sass or like some sort of like cocky attitude to justify it, because like Bayonetta, at least because I started playing 2 again and then reminded me how much I like 2 over 3. But it's like she doesn't have any swagger to her. Like she's kind of just a tourist with fighting capabilities.
Because that's just like a preference and personality. I'm sure, but still.
Yeah, most people don't care because the character is hot. So like not having a personality or anything beyond that is kind of just like whatever. But it's like if you're an action game character, you can't be in an action game and also be boring.
Fair enough.
At least for me, like I'm trying to think, is there? Because like characters, again, I guess it is just down to personality better for me. But like characters that like have back and forth one-liners, banter with their villains. Like the extra dialogue adds to the pacing of the combat for me, especially if it's while they're fighting. So it's like, as corny as like some of the Power Ranger fights was, the fact that them and the villains were fighting, were like bantering with each other while going back and forth fighting, like it added more of that like action to me because not only are you like competing with swords, you're also like competing with words too. Like Dante does it a lot. Bayonetta does it from time to time before a fight starts. But like Sonic does it quite a bit, and it's why I like having smug characters in games or like characters that are more um like Jaden Yuki or something, to where he's kind of from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, where like he'll kind of just like he'll have some corny one-liner to say back to the bad guy most of the time. It was just like I don't know. It adds more energy, and it's like Stellar Blade not having that just fell off.
Oh, the UR. How you doing? URT. Okay. How do you pronounce it? How are you doing?
If you're a real, say potato.
I mean, they're on YouTube, so I think that we're fine.
Okay, yeah, Twitch has the one with a horrible bot
Twitch has
problem.
bots. Yeah, YouTube should be fine.
I think YouTube does do that from time to time, but still. But I forgot what we were even talking about. I know we were talking about like, oh yeah, he was talking about Nier Automata, and I was like, yeah, no, all these characters are very stoic and kind of boring to listen to talk because stoic characters they love making stoic characters speak monotone, no matter what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, someone brought up, or I was watching a Tectone video, and it was like, he brought up the fact that it's like, oh yeah, like, when characters voice act for like a mobile game, they don't voice act most of the time. They just sort of read a sentence and pick a voice and stick with that voice. They rarely enunciate or like react to what's happening like in the scene. And they kind of just like,
I don't know if you can see the tweet in the background, Rar, but yeah, we're talking about like factor opinion things that, and like the tweet says you can judge a game objectively using like controls and character complexity, acting, stuff like that, and then we kind of just got off on a tangent about that, about how Nier Automata has a boring protagonist, I guess, and then that doesn't really make the game completely bad, I guess, but like people say it is based on, you know, they think it's a fact or opinion, yeah.
yeah. It is a matter of like, it is definitely like, if you are a lorehead and you love like looking really deep into like character story and background, then yeah, Nier Automata and Stellar Blade are absolutely like your slice of the pie. If you don't care about the characters themselves and more so like the world itself and how they and their place in it, fine, like do that. Go off. But like me personally, like the characters gotta have some level of personality. Because I feel like I'm playing as a Taurus with like fighting. Like I said before, I feel like I'm playing as a Taurus with fighting capabilities.
Yeah.
It's like, dang man, look at that thing. Anyways, I'm gonna go fight this thing over here now. But I don't know. Like I will give Stellar Blade that she does have like cute animations here and there. Like when you find like a collectible soda can, she does like a really like swaggy pose, and it's like, oh, that's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
But like, but because Nier Automata is supposed to be like the super serial game, like it does kind of fall off. Like Stellar Blade at least knows it's supposed to be silly to an extent, so they can sneak in like cheeky things like that. But I don't know, without like Bayonetta swagger, like characters like that, games like that fall off for me.
Shut the hell up!
Thank you.
I don't care what this person is saying. I don't care if Danganronpa's story is cool when every time somebody dies.
Sound.
I will say, Danganronpa's OST is very hit or miss. Like it's either really good or like some of these songs are like, all right, like let's chill down with the Chinese flute or whatever. But freaking what's it called? Though to be fair, Danganronpa is kind of a bad example because it's literally a visual novel. Character complexity is kind of like the name of the game.
Yeah.
Aside from all the weird mini games the trials make you do, which I could definitely live without. Like just be Ace Attorney. You don't have to add up. Like if Ace Attorney had mini games, I would not be playing Ace Attorney.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
it kind of does with some of the investigating stuff, but it's a bit different. Or
like it doesn't help that like the Danganronpa cases are yap fests.
They do kind of retread ground a lot.
Like I was watching a friend of mine. I'm used to like if you're going from point A to point B in an Ace Attorney, you can get a case done in like maybe 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes, if for like a court thing. Like it's pretty cut and dry, and if you make a mistake that extends it, then like you're maybe there for like an hour or two if you don't know what you're doing. Danganronpa, point A to point B probably takes an hour minimum. And then it's like and that's obviously that's without skipping dialogue, but like you're supposed to be paying attention to the dialogue, so you're sitting there for an hour going from point A to point B, heaven forbid you mess up or screw up on a mini game, and now you gotta do that entire segment over again. Like, it's pretty bad, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, he's dead. That's my best friend. He was such a nice guy. He gets run over by a fucking steamroller. He's like flattened out like Roger Rabbit. So sad. It's from my boss, so I had to put it up. It's a contractual obligation. You guys understand. Chicken Parmesan is the worst form of chicken. How do you make a chicken
That's an opinion.
smother it in sauce that makes it soggy unless you eat it framed. Terrible. Now, Alan's...
How are you making chicken Alfredo? Because if your chicken is soggy after not eating it immediately, you're probably using too much breading.
It's a chicken parmesan, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how... Yeah, did I say Alfredo?
You did, yeah.
My bad. Principle still stands.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to... Your chicken... The breading isn't the important part of the chicken parmesan. It's supposed to add, like... It's, yeah, if you eat it early, it adds a crunch to it. But, like, it's supposed to be, like, add an extra bit of, like, a zest to the marinara sauce or something, right? Because, like, the bread is usually pretty seasoned in chicken parmesan. As opposed to, like Alfredo, where it's like, you can have a thin layer of breading, but the seasoning is in the sauce, not the bread. I don't know. This is an opinion.
For chicken Parmesan is legendary. He hates it. He's hated for a long time. It's sort of become a meme. And it looks like he does not share that sentiment with many of you. You guys are right. Chicken Parm is delicious.
If you drench it in marinara sauce, it'll get soggy, but you're not supposed to drench it.
Yeah.
I have to be real with myself. Chicken Parm is tasty. If it's soggy, it's because you're taking it out. It's because you're ordering takeout. Just eat it there. See my response in your paycheck this month. Okay.
Wow. Oh, that's Mr. Oh, it's that Alan. Oh my gosh. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, future
I
sight.
will never forgive Smash, the VGBC, for putting that man under the bus like that.
Yeah.
They were this close to greatness. All they had to do was cooperate with Mr. Panda Global, and then things would have been Gucci. They didn't do that, things were not Gucci, and then everyone blamed Alan for it. And it's like, yeah, no. Like, I stopped following VGBC because of that. I was like, no, you're not getting my sub. Like, I'll simply... I'll make my own Smash tournaments.
I'll become the new Smash Man.
I will become VGBC 2. Fails.
No one shows up.
Oh gosh. I started having a savings account again. I gotta bring this back though. I really did like doing the Smash tournaments whenever Kagura wasn't involved.
Or what was the other one that was a problem? What's her name?
It was primarily just her. Like,
That, well, she was fighting with somebody else too, though.
yeah, the cameraman was like.
No, it was not cameraman.
He was his biggest hater, just by being friends, and it's like it was kind of annoying.
It was the other girl. What was it?
Oh, March.
March, yeah.
Yeah, no, I banned her like the day of. That one.
But yeah, but yeah, Kagura, if you're listening, you definitely do cause stuff, whether you admit it or not. But it's fine because people just have personalities and whatever, they clash, but you need to own up to it when it happens.
Ooh, call out post on main south of. Okay, man, I agree, but good grief. All right.
Thanks, Alan, for this opinion. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
One of the worst
Things that didn't age well.
Yeah, right.
I agree with this.
In comparison to other consoles in their own generation, it is only relevant because of Nintendo exclusives.
I kind of agree with that. Like,
I mean, it's the worst
mostly
graph.
because it would get a lot more points if the controllers didn't actively break on you.
Yeah, the Joy-Con drift. It's definitely a
If the
big
Joy-Cons
problem.
weren't $80 and you had to replace them like every 2 months because
I mean, honestly,
your control sticks weren't manufactured properly on purpose.
my new ones have been good for like 4 or 5 years now. So I don't know. So maybe they got it right now. I don't know. It's but
I've never replaced mine. I've just kind of learned to deal with it.
hmm,
Or like I'll get like a wired controller that's $20 and
just use that. Yeah.
it lasts longer and has the same like if it drifts, oh no, it's only $20.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I
But
mean, that's kind of Nintendo in general. Like not just a Switch. Kind of just have certain
no, I
things that
never
just.
had that problem with Wii remotes. I never had that problem with nunchucks or anything like that.
Like sometimes
I,
they have like subpar qualities sometimes for some reason. It's because it's like they're trying to push something that none of other people have done, like motion control and stuff like that. It just doesn't work.
yeah,
And then I don't
never
know,
had a problem with motion
or they,
control.
as I heard sometimes, that they literally will. What's the word? They'll try to cut costs by doing that, and then make their games better. I think is what it is.
That's stupid because Nintendo can literally afford to do both.
Yeah, there's some like design business practice that is similar to that. I don't know if I got the wording right, but that's kind of
I
like
get
their.
it. Cut costs in one spot so that they can put more money towards the other spot and not have to
I said
dip into their
something
wallets.
something like that. I don't know if that's quite the the mindset, but yeah, I think it's something to do with the business practice that makes these things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. Nintendo's pretty good at doing that, doing the bad business practices. I love their games, but I didn't like outside of the directs. I don't love them very much. uh,
But yeah, I don't know. The Switch being the worst.
yeah,
But
if he's the worst console ever made, absolutely not. This is a child because he does not know the Atari exists.
I mean, the worst in the generation is what they're saying. But yeah,
Um,
like the components, like the parts and stuff that make it. I mean, maybe because I mean the PS4 and the Xbox One. I guess now they're more concurrent with the PS5 and the Series X, I guess. But yeah, they don't compare in terms of like the technology.
yeah.
What they
If it's being compared to PS5 and Series X, then yeah, no, the Switch is absolutely the worst.
yeah.
Honestly, in terms of like not even like games, but like the make and model of the Switch, I would probably say it is worse than the PS4 and the Xbox One too. I would probably say like on like a baseline, what it's made of, it is probably the worst. But the amount of stuff it can do as a handheld that you can kind of just take anywhere you want without the need for like a. Don't get me wrong, PS Vita remote play is really good. I love that feature a lot. But without having to set up nearly as many things, the Switch does what it does really well.
PlayStation
It
is.
has a lot more versatility. Like you can take it wherever you want. It's a given. It's a good given console, which
I
is
mean,
might it not being built very well because what it's built to do, it does really well.
Switch was so successful with that concept is that PS5 realized, like PlayStation realized like, oh, the Vita we don't have anymore. Oh, we need to fix that, and then
Yeah, it's like one of the worst things imaginable.
they brought back that concept with the what is it called, the PlayStation. It's like this new thing they just released. I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like a little screen with like the PlayStation like controller things on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like their new Vita because it lets you play games remotely.
Yeah, I just
But yeah,
remember it not performing very well because it was obscenely expensive. On top of the fact that I think it was like I don't think its remote play was nearly as good. On top of the fact that
oh, the Portal. That's what it's called. I think.
yeah, PlayStation Portal.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't remember it being very like super good though, mostly because it's a huge money sink.
Allows you to play PS5 games on your home Wi-Fi. So you can only play on Wi-Fi too, which is like okay. So it's not the same as Switch because you can't play it internally, remotely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't play it internally. You can't leave the house with it.
Yeah, unless you like find Wi-Fi somewhere and somebody can connect to your home Wi-Fi. I don't know. So
Yeah, like it's a bunch of extra stuff you have to do where the Switch can just
play.
detach from dock, take it because the dock is just an HDMI cable with extra steps.
Yeah.
So you detach from dock, you can play it out and about. Granted, it's only for like 3 hours, but that's 3 hours. That's a 3 hour bus ride you just killed.
And then
So
yeah.
I don't know. I'll take my dubs where I can get them.
So yeah, I'm not sure what. Yeah, Coney's gonna think. I guess. Well, he probably is gonna say fact for some reason.
I will say, like, objectively, like, as from like a base build, it's a fact. But in terms of what the Switch can do, that's an opinion.
Yeah.
I do wish it had better parts running, but for what it does a good job.
I'm not putting up the poll on this one. This is
Okay.
you're a silly goof. You are a silly. You just wanted to be on the show. Toon Ciano. Internet culture has ruined lots of media. Games, movies, and shows are less fun to experience because people are always trying to find out if it is objectively
Jim, fact. I'm gonna go fact on this one.
I will.
Like, whether it's booting it completely is another thing, but it definitely has made some of it not as enjoyable.
Yeah, because a lot of it is because a lot of people don't forge their own opinions. They look at other people's opinions on something and then say that that's their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't think that's the case because I'll watch a movie that someone said was good and then it was like, this is alright. If I would now, if they weren't hyping it to heaven and high water, and they kind of just was like, or if I just didn't watch the review and saw everything for myself, I'd probably have a higher impression of it.
This thing, you have kind of balance. You have the people overhyping and people like trashing it. So you kind of kind of balances itself out, but sometimes it doesn't. It kind of depends.
Because there's so much vitriol around something that's probably just mid, I'm now annoyed that I spent my time investing in a thing that's like okay, that everyone hyped to high heaven.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of depends on the thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
It's like, what did I play that was like that I felt was like massively overhyped? Not Horizon, not Dragon Quest. But Dragon Quest was fun. It just got then 11 just got boring for me after a while.
It kind of drags after a while. When you you play the definitive edition, you need to like replay the game again after you've completed the first time, basically.
Yeah, like after you find the MacGuffins, fight the final boss, the world ends because he had a secret special attack or whatever, and now I have to find them all again. And then no,
Yeah.
I refuse.
Yeah. I'm like on like the final like actual boss, and then I'm like, didn't finish it.
I need to actually see what that final boss is because I'm sure there's a lot of because like I don't know, like it's the and that's not what we're talking about. Tangent. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what was a game that was like overhyped that I played and just didn't enjoy as much as everyone else. I know I've had that experience before, but I cannot like put my finger on it.
Trying to think of just a game that's been hyped in general.
Not I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus. I haven't played. I can't think of anything. Because most of the games I played, I liked like a lot. So like, the only time I would ever be like, oh, this game's kind of overhyped, would be like a thing I tried to venture out and try, which wasn't a whole lot. It was like Knack wasn't hyped at all. I just kind of enjoyed the game until the final boss. I guess the Devil May Cry series, for 1 and 2 specifically.
Were they hyped?
I think 3 was the one that was hyped, and I just kind of thought 1 and 2 were the same, but like slightly worse when they were incredibly worse. So 1 I got used to, and then 2 took what made 1 bad and made it worse. And then 3 was like the actual like, oh, this is so cool, best in that's blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, no, this is neat.
I thought Devil May Cry was kind of a niche game.
Yeah. I think a game that was trash that people didn't like that was honestly fine was DMC, the Don't game.
Yeah, I don't.
especially with the remake that removed all the stuff that people had issues with to begin with.
Hmm.
But that version of it is pretty good, but because it's still Dante, no one likes it. But
Don't.
with fun fact, it wasn't and gave him that nickname himself.
Yeah. So he kind of
Like he's not like the burly Dante that wears cowboy boots and like dresses in gay attire. It's
gay attire. I mean, maybe. I guess I don't know.
I don't get. I don't know. Even as like a from a middle school like perspective, it's like, haha, if you're not cool, you're gay. It's like, I don't get how he got gay from Dante. That's weird to me.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm just gonna chalk that up to creator hubris. But most people don't like Dante because of the background surrounding the game, which is understandable. If the dev is garbage, I'm not gonna want to play your game.
Yeah.
But it was honestly pretty solid, especially when they removed like the color-coded enemies that most action games have. So that one is probably one I could think of. Oh, Assassin's Creed. But that's also wasn't bad at stealth games, but Assassin's Creed was kind of alright. I played Rogue, and I got the Rogue Black Flag collection because I really like the pirate aesthetic that most games don't do very well. So like being able to sail on a ship, like the beach fronts and like the little cozy wooden towns, I like that vibe. So I got the games and it was like, and that's right, this is still a stealth game and it's not a very good one. So it's like, I think I'm good.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, I mean, no. The internet culture is hit or miss sometimes. I don't know. That stuff. But you can definitely avoid it.
On the internet, yes, this is true. But for someone like me who's only really on there for like maybe YouTube, some video games, and then like that's it. Like I'm not on TikTok for like or Facebook Reels for like ages or hours out of the day. Like I think the most time, the thing I put the most time into is like Facebook, and that's just to share memes of things I either agree with or think is funny.
Yeah, so I mean, you can avoid some of the stuff and make it not affect how how the games and show and stuff are for you in terms of like how you experience, how much you enjoy it.
Yeah, like the Knuckles show on Paramount, like everyone hated it because they don't like the human characters in the Sonic movieverse. I love them. Like I think they're all very special, and I actually like the Knuckles show maybe weight a lot more. So everyone else kind of having the adverse effect was weird to me because it's like, oh, okay, I thought we were kind of on the same page with that, but I think Wade is overhated. He's fine. All the human characters are fine. Like, I consider them Sonic characters at this point. But like that's something that's overhated that probably shouldn't really be hated as much as it is.
Did the internet ruin media? This is an opinion you said. Did the internet really ruin media?
I say it does. It's a fact.
I have some news for you.
Fact opinion?
Both. Because the internet is so obsessed over whether something is good or not, and they go to the internet to sort of confirm their bias or to figure it out before they get into it, that more and more people consume whatever it is. Whether it's Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or whatever, everybody's like, is this actually good? And everybody says, yes, it's actually good. And they figure it out. And then everybody goes to watch that. Meanwhile, stuff that is pretty good, that might be okay.
There were any shows you watched that was like super hyped that you kind of just were like, and this is alright?
Walking Dead?
Yeah. Fair enough. I think, a show that is really good but really doesn't like deserve the amount of gatekeeping it gets is Full Metal Alchemist.
Which one, Brotherhood or the original?
Brotherhood. You want to talk about a show that's like incredibly overhyped? Don't get me wrong. It is a very good show. Like the world building. When you're not talking about Edward or Al, Like the characters, the world is pretty interesting. Like Ed and Al are interesting on their own, but like I was more invested in the Colonel Mustang, Lieutenant Hawkeye like dynamic than the Edward and Alric dynamic.
Hmm.
Like I feel like they should have been the main characters rather than Edward and Alric.
It's hard to say what they would have been doing the whole time, though. They kind of had the hands tied a lot of the time.
Yeah, that is true. But it's like I like the plot a lot more when it focused on these side characters. The main characters are cool, but like the side characters are freaking wonderful. The only thing that I didn't particularly like about the anime is that it didn't explain the fact that homunculi have limited. They basically have HP bars, where like if you damage them enough times, eventually they will just like stop regenerating and die. Like, and that was kind of showcased with that Colonel Mustang, constantly incinerating Lust, which was a really cool scene, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
very cool. And uh, it just kind of like, haha, you can't kill us. We're literally unkillable. Oh, frick, you killed me. Fades away. It's like, okay, well, that was out of nowhere, but sure, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the only part of the anime that I didn't vibe with was the final boss fight just being Sephiroth, and then the forced transmutation that was needed to bring him out. Like, have you've seen the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, you saw the scene where Raph or Fiora Bradley
Mm.
pretty much like pinned
Spoilers.
Colonel's hands to the circle and quote unquote forced the transmutation.
Hmm.
Like that didn't make sense to me because unless you were actively like I now, as far as I know, like transmutations are specifically like the person putting their hands on the circle is intending on doing something. Forcing his hands on the circle does not mean he suddenly intends on doing the thing.
Hmm.
So unless it's like Bradley transmutating himself into something, but like that doesn't make sense because Colonel Mustang was the one that lost his eyesight.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. How, one of those things that they don't like explain, and by not explaining it, it's like, well, like, you can't question it, but it's like, well, does it make sense still? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if they brought up forced transmutations earlier on in the plot, it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have felt like shoved in.
I mean, they made the what they call it, the like what Al is. They had a bunch of those prisoners and stuff that were forced into transmuting.
Ah,
But I don't
okay.
know if they fall into the same umbrella or not.
And then it's just like, how did he force it? And it's like
Yeah.
it brings up more questions than it answers.
Yeah. Hard to say. But yeah, in terms of like making it like it's like the overhype thing, where it's just all right. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And anime has that problem for sure still, but
It's a huge overhype problem.
you know.
That's probably why it was the only thing I could really draw from because most of the shows I liked, I enjoyed.
Hmm.
But like, I didn't have people like saying, "Oh man, that's just the best thing ever," to everything.
Yeah.
But like, anime has a huge like issue with that. Like the new Shikonoko, the deer anime, like it's funny, but I think it's alright.
Hmm. I haven't seen it.
It's pretty neat, but like I don't know. The first episode made a good impression, and then the rest of the episode had a formula that's really good, but I don't think it's like the best thing since sliced bread that everyone makes it out to be. Anyway, that which like overhyping things and trashing things, I absolutely like. I absolutely agree that internet culture has an effect on that.
Hmm.
Have you ever been talking with somebody or reading something online and it's very clear that people are parroting things that they've seen YouTubers say? it's really weird. Whenever I dump on Sonic Adventure 2, there's always a few people that will, like, link me videos about why it's so good, and, like, they'll say the same shit. Like, they immediately go into defense mode where they're like, oh, you're making fun of it because it didn't transition well into 3D. And I'm like, okay, you watched a video that said why Sonic didn't translate well into 3D, and you think that's what this is all about.
Gosh, the amount of times I've heard that whenever someone negatively reviews a Sonic game, like, and they show clips of Sonic 06 all the time. It's like, it's objectively incorrect. Every reviewer starts off their review with, oh, Sonic's had a rough transition to 3D, but this game's kind of alright. It's like, thank you, I didn't need to hear that again, but sure.
Right.
Like, it's crazy that IGN still brings up Sonic 06, even though that game is 18 years old. What? Yeah, but I used to be on the Sonic Adventure 2 was like mid bandwagon, and I'll admit, me personally, when you're playing a Sonic and Shadow, a very fun game. It's mid everywhere else though. Like the Knuckles and Tail segments are fine. Like they play well enough. They're fun, but they're not what I'm playing the game for.
I think people get their opinions from screen men and women so much that they can't come up with stuff on their own.
Yeah.
But that's why we have shows like this, so I can tell you what to think, whether something is a fact or an opinion.
Okay.
Go make your own opinions. It's important to have your own opinions, except the ones that I have, which I'm telling you right now. Okay. Anyway, influencers are to blame, as with most things.
Yes.
Says, not every fighter in Smash may be fun, but they are someone's favorite fighter, which makes their inclusion valid. Let's extend this to all fighting games.
No. The amount of times a new character has been added to Smash and I've said, I don't really care for this character, but this character makes a lot of people happy, like, that makes me happy. So I agree with it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, he might be a fact, yeah. I mean, because, yeah, he's not really saying anything too crazy here.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, like,
if he's saying that goes to, like, all fighters, that could depend, but Smash specifically, that's a fact.
Let's extend this to all fighting games. Not every character in a fighting game may be fun, but somebody loves them, which makes their inclusion okay. Every single fighter can be someone's favorite fighter, which makes their inclusion valid. Is that true or not? Nope.
okay.
That's an opinion. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Explain yourself.
Do not tell me somebody would be sad if Duck Hunt wasn't in the game.
I mean, it's one example.
And they would have fun playing something else. And if they didn't, maybe they just don't like the game. You could just get rid of Robin. Who cares?
Hey, you know.
Another projectile build.
Okay. Well, after Fire Emblem is cheating.
Also, Robin's like the least one to be like pointing at.
Fire Emblem character out of all of them. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know, Coney.
As much as I like Crom and Lucina, I don't think anyone would be super sad if they left. But except me because I like Crom and Lucina. But like, Robin is his own character. Leave him alone.
But yeah, like when we start like getting into the nitty gritty and be like, this character, like, then yeah, it's opinion. But if we're just talking about like any character, general character ever, then yeah, it's like, I mean, it's hard to say that is not true. I feel like
the only time that hasn't been true was Corrin, and that's because she was revealed before her game even came out.
I mean, Roy was technically as well back in Melee.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the game didn't come out yet.
But the only time I think Rory got a pass because it was only like him and Marth as Fire Emblem characters.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't planned.
They didn't see Fire Emblem; they saw a cool fire sword guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that I get.
Yeah, that game, and if you wouldn't know either than one, they'd think Roy was a favorite just because of that. It's like, oh, fire. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree on that being an opinion. I mean, everything can be opinion, really, but if you're going back to opinion.
Yeah, specifically Fast, I don't agree on that being an opinion.
Yeah.
Because someone was probably, because a lot of people were probably really excited that Duck Hunt was in the game. Like, nobody plays Pac-Man, but Johnson loves the fact that Pac-Man was in this game. My brother freaking loves Pac-Man.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, they could be there. You don't need to play them, but it's still,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. A character that should have been in the game that would have made me happy is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot or Rayman. Like, another game he gets shipped for Byleth.
I mean, I suppose there's definitely a weird trend with Smash and just adding the newest Fire Emblem character in there.
I don't get why. Like, don't get me wrong.
It's a popular series. It makes a lot of money. People play it. So, but it doesn't mean the character needs to be in every Smash game now.
Yeah. And then when Smash 6 comes out, we're gonna get an Aliar from Engage. So.
Yeah, I mean, I probably the less unique character to add because I don't know how you make them really that much different from Marth. Except for having like some buff system, but I don't know.
Aside from I think they could pull it off. They could just give them like moves from different Fire Emblem characters.
So they thought if I saw somebody's idea was too, yeah, it's like make them kind of like Byleth, where they have different like kind of move sets that they can't use all at once in the game, obviously, but they kind of like put them all together to make them like an all-in-one, yeah. But yeah.
Dude, they could make them a hodgepodge fighter. Just have like, you have like each normal attack is a different character's like attack in their game or something. I don't know.
Yeah, side B is riding on Sigurd's horse and stabbing, like kind of.
Yeah, like you could have freaking I forget what's his name. Sigurd's cavalry like dash B is dash attacker or something. I don't freaking know.
Yeah, I was saying either side B kind of like a Bowser Jr. kind of side B or like the dash attack, something like that.
No, I want to see Sigurd with the horse.
Yeah, it'd probably be like it would look like the astral thing. Like I could see him doing that. Like every move has like the persona like Joker has, behind him, and it kind of like does the move like that.
Actually, kind of cool. Dang, and I want Aliar and Smash so that can happen.
But I definitely would have wanted I don't know if they're a demon, but like the black outfit with the red hair look. I like that look.
The dragon version of them?
Yeah, I like that look a lot. I don't definitely want that color if they did add them.
Dude, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
You could have like the all blue version or the holy dragon or the fell dragon version, and then their toothpaste hair.
Yeah.
If you're a purist, or you could have like their hair colored after different Fire Emblem characters too.
Good. But it would probably end up having a male female alt, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree with this statement. This is definitely a factor where it's like every character in here is somebody's favorite character, and because this is a crossover fighting game, the crossover characters kind of have to matter in order for them to make money. So
yeah, I don't think they just picked them because they didn't think that they were relevant or liked.
You have everyone's character in this game be its favorite character. So for Smash specifically, that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically kind of Samus, Play Samus. You're fine.
It's not Samus.
I don't care if you want more.
Yeah. Hey, he's speaking of like a playstyle from like a playstyle standpoint, not a I love this character standpoint.
But I mean, like Duck Hunt doesn't even play like Samus because it's more like a trap character.
Yeah.
In some ways, with the can and all that stuff. So it's like,
He's talking about like baseline zoning.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can zone if they have projectiles, but it doesn't mean that's their playstyle. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like Snake has melee attacks that he can use. People just like to forget that.
Yeah, he's a trap character kind of too. He's
a mix. Snake is a mix of both.
Yeah. Zoner, trap, melee. Yeah.
Duck Hunt is a trap-based zoner.
Yeah.
Isabella's technically a trap-based zoner.
Mm-hmm. Down B is part of the reason, and then the fishing rod also is another one.
Yeah, like all of Minecraft are trap-based zoners. Like it's a play style, but they don't all play the same.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so it's hard to say.
Even though he does not.
Maybe it could be like League of Legends with 200 characters, and there are 6 versions of the same thing. I said said I wouldn't talk about League. God damn it, you pulled me back in.
The problem with League is that, yeah, there's like 600 characters, but only 10 of them get used at a time. Like, that's a quality over quantity kind of thing. Because, like, they play like gacha games do, to where it's like, they release a new 5-star, new 5-star is broken. But then the 5-star gets patched, and the new, stronger, overpowered 5-star comes out. It's a MOBA cycle that everyone falls for every time. It's like I used to have a friend that played MOBAs, and like Pokemon Unite or whatever, and it was like the same cycle to where it's like, oh, like this game's pretty balanced, everyone's really good. It's like, yeah, for now. And then they're gonna release an overpowered character. It's like, no, that's not gonna happen. And then they did do that, and then they kept doing that. And it's like, dude, this isn't like a thing that happens. Because Smash at least stops at some point. Like, they'll have the DLC characters that are incredibly strong, realize they were tripping upon release, and then they'll be like, alright, let's patch this real quick. Like, Pyro and Mythra are incredibly strong, but fighting them is more of a skill check than an actual, like, haha, I'm super strong, therefore I'm being carried.
Knock knock. Forgot to do that earlier.
I will say, like, Aegis does carry, like, bad players, don't get me wrong. I have a bad player that gets carried by Aegis whenever I use him, but, like, fighting her is a skill check, and that's fine.
Right.
I don't need Lux, Vel'Koz, Ziggs, Xerath. I don't need all four of them.
All the names sound the same.
They all do the same thing.
The LZs.
Actually, gosh, fantasy names.
Do you need Duck Hunt, Villager, Pac-Man, Mega Man? Come on, dude.
I will say Smash does have its owner problem.
Dark Pit. Jesus, fuck.
I mean, it's Echo Fighters.
If Dark Pit had a different moveset that justified him being there, I'd be 100% okay with it. But, like, Smash 4 I get including him because, haha, is a clone of Pit. But Kid Icarus Uprising has enough of a moveset to where he could have been his own character.
Yeah. Also, it only made it look like a part of the game because, like, oh, he's an Echo. We're doing Echoes now. I was like, okay, sure. But, like, when they added him in the first place, it's like, you guys could have probably made him a different character, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I'm just mad Sonic never got another rep. Dude, like, if Shadow or Blaze, or even Tails or Knuckles made it into the game, dude, like, it's over. Like, I wouldn't need anything else.
His favorite character? Seriously. Would you be sad if Dark Pit wasn't in the game? No, you wouldn't. And if you agree,
My man would be.
you'll shake. Oh, look at that.
What is that?
Dark Pit is the exception, though. Because he's literally just a clone of Pit. I like Dark Pit because his ult is really swaggy, but, like, I don't know, but he is an unnecessary inclusion. I just wish they did more with his moveset. They should have given him a different moveset.
Good. I'm glad we can come to this understanding. That's a fucking opinion. That's an opinion. Grifter says...
Also, Ganondorf still gets to have Falcon's moveset and nobody ever complains. Unironically, that's just risk versus harassment.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom should ditch the Marvel part eventually and just become a Capcom All-Stars fighter. That's stupid. That's dumb. No. Absolutely.
They've had games like that, sort of. I mean, they have other crossovers with other things, other than Marvel. Yeah, but like...
Marvel is what introduces people to the Capcom people.
I mean, Street Fighter in some ways is kind of that way now, where it has other Capcom characters in it, in some regard, but... Yeah. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, a Capcom All-Stars game would be kind of sick, but because of Marvel vs. Capcom, we kind of already have that.
Yeah, like, just have Capcom and also Marvel. Like, what do you, like, what's the problem?
Yeah, like, there's no reason, like, that's two birds with one stone.
Well,
its cast is limited because of the whole, like, Disney buying Marvel and the thought effects being stupid, but, like, freaking, MVC3 was, like, peak crossover nonsense. I wish we had more crossover fighters that weren't just MVC3 and Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Or Smash, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Monkey Brain in me still doesn't consider Smash to be a fighting game, a party game with competitive elements. Sure,
It's a crossover game.
Yeah, definitely a crossover game.
Yeah.
Like, more games to do their crossovers properly like that, we need more of. Like, I'm tired of Fortnite just being skins and then gimmick items that appear and that are no longer there at the end of the patch. But like Fortnite crossovers are kind of bad. But like MVC, Smash, um, pretty much those two, and like another freaking.
Trying to think. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's how I crossover, but but then Marvel it is.
I mean, technically, but Marvel crosses up all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Like the Ruby DC crossover was really good.
Right. I haven't seen that yet.
Like
Mortal Kombat versus DC.
I wish that one was good.
Mortal Kombat games.
The Dark Era with like the Dark Knight stuff, that would have been perfect for Batman for that to be a good game.
Mortal Kombat and Injustice in general have crossover characters.
Yeah, Injustice. Yeah, I would say, doesn't Injustice have Scorpion in it now?
The second one had the Joker, I think. I think one had Scorpion. I think two also had Sub-Zero. So they were crossing over with each other.
As well as like Joker and I think TMNT was also in Injustice.
Sorry, okay, Mortal Kombat 11 had Joker, and Injustice 2 had Sub-Zero. Yeah. So like they had characters from those two going back and forth, but yeah. And then Mortal Kombat in general just has, horror and other like random crossover characters like Conan the Barbarian now. Stuff like that. So it's like
that's freaking funny.
Yeah. The guy from Scream and T2 from Terminator 2.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I mean,
I haven't paid attention to Mortal Kombat like in a while, so that's actually kind of neat to know.
Yeah, they did a lot of crossovers. I think 10 had Alien and Predator in it. So they had they've been doing those crossovers ever since 9 when they had Freddy Krueger and Kratos and stuff in it.
Yeah, and it's like they do stuff that makes these characters special.
Yeah.
Like the reason why I don't like Fortnite crossovers is because you're still playing as Jonesy with a Goku skin. You're not playing as Goku himself.
Yeah, I think
you're not doing anything that makes his character special.
I think some of those newer ones have been a bit better with that, but yeah, in general, yeah.
Yeah, it's more so like you're using like a gimmick weapon that you find on the map, and then it expires, and then you can't use it anymore. Like the Kamehameha Wave is a really good gimmick weapon, but it was only there until the Dragon Ball patch ended. Yeah,
which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, it means that if you don't get it at the right time, you don't put your time in that they want you to, then spend money, then it's gone.
If they just kept it as like a 5-star drop that was just hard to find, that would be cool. Especially if it's like, oh man, and then you could be like, oh man, Goku with like a Rasen Shuriken would be kind of sick.
Be funny, yeah, too.
I like dumb stuff like that. And if they kept all the legendary like gimmick items in the game, and then like had it to where those crossovers can just stay being possible, it'd be perfect. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd say it would be a perfect game, but I also don't like Fortnite, so I wouldn't be playing it anyway. Speaking of games that are objectively good but don't fit my preferences.
Why would you do that? Marvel is bigger than it's ever been. Capcom doesn't have enough characters to fill that out. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They might have enough characters, but they do have them to pull some deep cuts.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard on this channel.
Like, I still don't know who, what is his name? The Bionic Arm?
Bio Commando? Or,
I forgot what his name was. Wasn't it like Sam or something?
Oh, yeah, you're right. His name is like, is it Simon? No. Something like that. Yeah,
Spencer.
I don't know. Spencer, that's what it is. Yeah.
Spencer, that was his name.
Yeah. I think about this.
I had to think about that like way too hard.
Yeah, I think there's another character that just literally just is their name from the game. Like the game name. But yeah, Spencer has his own name, yeah.
Like that being said, I do like it when niche characters like get their own like stuff, and Doesn't Help that Spencer's actually really good in MVC3.
But yeah, yeah. Some of the niche characters are just like not very fleshed out, but sometimes they can be good.
With the lack of information given on them, there's only so much you can do with their movesets.
I mean, they've made up characters for those games too, like Ruby Heart and 2, and I think Sun. Well, I think Sun might actually be an actual. They're like not much of a character in their game, but they're a character still. But Ruby Heart from 2 is just a new character they added to that game as like the character that made the plot the way it was, I think.
Okay.
Like the story of that game. So they can just make characters up too. I mean, if they want.
Yeah, it's not inherent. They could do it, but like, what would be the point of dropping the Marvel part? That just makes way too much money.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I wish we get another. I wish we get another Mario vs. Capcom game soon. If Infinite was kind of bad, and we could really use a good one as a palate cleanser, but I don't think that's happening. I think Infinite might have killed it.
He might now with the collection coming out. Might revigorate everything. So we'll see.
Because everyone like really liked MVC 2, and not more people get to try it, and it's like, dang, I actually like MVC.
Also, Maximilian's is helping with it. His project for MVC MVC Infinite. Because
it's like I'm genuinely hoping that they either like re-release Infinite and make it better, or just make a whole new like game, stick with the comic book style 3 had, and then just like go ham on it.
That's basically what Maximilian's project is doing. Have you heard about that? The Marvel's Infinite and Beyond is what it's called.
No, I didn't know about that.
They're like like redoing the art style, the effects and stuff, and then they're like, yeah, that's basically what his project is. So I'd look into that once it comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely like keep me posted on that. I'm actually kind of interested in that.
Yeah, Maximilian Dude is what I'm talking about. You know, if you know that.
Yeah, Maximilian Dude. I've subscribed to his channel, but I haven't seen anything on it. I don't actively watch, so I probably skipped over it in my subscriptions because I have a lot of rant reviewers that like uploading at the exact same time. So
yeah, but he has a lot of videos on it recently, so.
Okay, I'll have to look into them then later. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Wait.
Yes, they do. No, they don't. How many fight? Okay. Trombone.
I mean, she was in the game.
Fighter MVC3.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Also, she's like the most popular character from that Mega Man Legends series, game.
She's bad. Don't get me wrong, but like she's a character in MVC3.
I mean, Century Bot right next to her is their own character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
You can play as the Lego dude?
Yeah, he's in MVC 2.
That's so freaking funny.
Yeah. Mega Man and Roll are also in 2.
Oh, so this art is sick. I wish she wore pants, but this art is sick.
She wore pants.
You gonna have Roll?
She's also a character. Yes.
Is she?
And 2, yeah.
Okay, are you gonna
Bro, geez.
And 2 and 1 actually. She's in 1 as well.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, but she's a joke character in 1. So it's like same as Century Bot in 2. It's like this guy's tiny and his hitboxes suck. But yeah.
He's kind of like Neko Arc, where it's like he has like 10 HP, but like he's hard to hit.
But yeah, I mean, the Capcom fighting games are great at making characters that just are characters, and they don't need to be good or whatever. They're just there.
Yeah. So long as stuff syncs and it's like, oh yeah, this character, I feel like I'm playing this character, not just a generic fighter. Like that's cool. Like that's usually enough for me. It's like Bayonetta is bad in Ultimate, but I still feel like I'm playing as Bayonetta, and that's honestly more important than her being good for me.
Was it X-Men or the Street Fighter versus Marvel? I don't remember. But one of those Marvel Capcom fighting games, they actually added a Japanese comedian into the game in the Japanese version. And the US never got that, but the collection that's coming out is going to have him return. So he's still in the game. He's a Japanese comedian and he looks hilarious in the game. He's just like the most joke character ever. But yeah, that's part of the charm of their games, just the characters. So
There is a reason why thing Japan equals good, because they do stuff like this.
Yeah, they just do things whether they think it'll be good or not. Really,
Like,
sometimes.
it's optimal. This is funny, and I'm putting it in.
Yeah, they'll put their own taste in there. All their thing that they like. But yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
I definitely love to
Like, I
play the.
remember God Essential was like a mascot character that they put in Project Cross Zone, which is another good crossover game. But yes.
Yeah. Definitely would like to play that MSC collection or the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 when it comes out, because Capcom Collection 2 has Power Stone, which is great. And, yeah, the
You know
MSC.
what? I had to be told Power Stone is not the Infinity Stone, but like its own game.
Yes, yeah.
I thought that it was like, oh yeah, okay, they had the Infinity Stones back like then in fighting games too. I thought it was just a kind of thing. It's like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, Power Stone's Arena Fighter, yeah. It came
Oh,
out.
even better.
It came out around the same time as Smash did, actually.
Oh,
A
sick.
little bit after.
Oh, so it's like old. Okay.
It was on Dreamcast.
Nice.
But yeah,
Dreamcast stuff.
but yeah, Power Stone's great
I
because
did more than this comic, so that's kind of throwing me for a loop.
yeah, right. But yeah, Power Stone is fun because it's like kind of just it's like you have items, all this stuff. It's like really a casual fighting game.
Sure.
But yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we can move on.
They have 8 fighting game characters. Oh wait, Capcom All Stars Fight.
They do have a lot, yeah.
Red Earth. I've never heard of these two.
Well, Final Fight isn't a fighting game.
I've heard of, and Final Fight sounds familiar.
Final Fight isn't a fighting game; it's a beat 'em up. But yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. That's why I haven't heard of it.
The Final Fight characters are basically just in Street Fighter because, they're not. It's not its own fighting game, and it kind of related, I guess. So they just threw it in there eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
These two I've never heard of.
Yeah, Red Earth is like kind of like this weird like mythological like beastmen kind of like game, like this stuff like that. It's kind of similar to Darkstalkers, which kind of has like monsters and stuff in it. Rival School is kind of like there's schools, and then there's like these people that fight together, like the kids and students fight each other from other schools. So they have like these they have these teams from different schools that fight each other. So it's kind of like a team-based fighting game.
Okay.
And then Street Fighter,
Yeah. Okay. So Red Earth is like the obligatory like Greek mythology game that every genre seems to have.
Kind of. I think it might be kind of sci-fi like as well, but I don't really remember.
Okay. And then Schools United by Fate is basically just like school rivalry, like the rival summer camp is better than us, but we gotta do better with the power of teamwork or whatever.
I guess so.
And then Darkstalkers is where Morgan comes from, and that's kind of all anyone really knows about Darkstalkers.
Yeah, horror and like movie monster kind of things. With monsters. Mummy Man, werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of that stuff.
That's kind of neat. Okay. Yeah. So they actually, with these alone, they probably have enough of a roster to make their own Capcom All-Star game.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I like the Marvel aspect of it.
It makes it more diverse in terms of what you're offering, yeah.
Either way, put a roster in your game and I'm probably going to play it.
Okay, never mind. This is fast. Wait, I didn't think of that. Wait, are we talking about like Dark
Trade his mind.
versus Street Fighter versus... Okay, that's fast. You're right. No, this is true. However, they should also have Marvel vs. Capcom at the same time. So it's also an opinion. It's both.
Yeah, don't ditch it, but definitely do more with your series.
Be part of bad fan bases. The amount of talent that goes into creating fantastic animations, good fan games, and even the power to change the Sonic movies designed for the better, better themselves over the years. Fact.
That is a mixed bag. So, all of this is minus the bad fan bases, but the Sonic fan base has done a lot of good for their brand over the years. Like a lot of the fan arts, we don't have as nearly as much weird fan art as we did when we started. Like a lot of it is just the character being cool, the characters interacting with each other, and a bunch of other stuff. Like it's actually really neat, wholesome content. Like they have, at the very least, the vocal ones or the weird vocal ones are like, because there's more good vocal ones than bad vocal ones now.
It's like
they're slowly starting to retreat into their own corner.
I feel like every fan base has a part of it that's bad, so it's kind of hard to just be like the entire thing's bad. I don't know. So
I think what determines a bad fan base is how vocal the bad part of the fan base is.
right, so it's like okay. I mean, we're going off of percentages, I guess, but it's like okay,
Yeah.
it changes over time. Yeah.
So Tony's probably gonna disagree with it because hating Sonic's at me, but I like the Sonic movie design being changed. Like that was actually like a Sonic fans using their vitriol for good. Because good grief, I was not gonna watch any of those movies if Sonic looked like that.
Mhm.
Like the fan art's been a lot better. Like we got a lot of really solid Sonic fan games. Like it's one of the most like creatively ambitious fan bases for some reason. I do not understand why.
Yeah, it's
But
strange.
we went from being like the Cringe Lord Express to being one of the most like talented and like talented like enriched fan bases out of like most other places. And don't get me wrong, like every fan base has like their talented fan artists. They have some fan games. Like Mario has a lot of good fan games behind his belt that Nintendo keeps shooting in the foot. But
Yeah,
when they're allowed to exist, they're really good.
the Sonic ones are allowed to do things. That kind of helps them.
Yeah, it's the fact that Sega knows that the creativity behind this community is the reason Sonic's alive to begin with, so they don't forget that,
Right.
and they let them say like, hey yo, like do what you're gonna do. If you're gonna fix Sonic 06, by all means go for it. Like we're happy you even care about this game. And it's like they don't have that leash, and obviously like there's still gonna be bad ones that act out of line, but I would definitely say the Sonic fan base has gotten a lot better over the years. So I think to be considered part of one of the bad fan bases, that's slowly becoming more and more of a fact as the fact as time progresses. But I think people who still say that Sonic fans are like the worst things that are imaginable, like I don't think that's like they're stuck in 20. They're stuck in 26, 2006.
2006. Yep.
2006. I'm saying 2010s that it's like
Yeah.
20 was the first one. I don't know.
Mhm.
They're stuck like back in the single digit years when liking Sonic was cringe. Cause haha, '06 bad, please laugh. But and also a lot of people see Christian as one of them. So we got stuck with one of the worst people to ever come out of the internet. So there's that too. But nixing out him, nixing out people that are like that hate on Sonic for content, like the Sonic fan base has gotten a lot better than it has been. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So I'm gonna say this is I'd say this is half and half. I'm gonna lean more towards fact just because I unfortunately have the displeasure of being on Twitter a lot and seeing Sonic fans actually be like decent. I think.
Hmm.
Your opinion.
They have dumb arguments, but that's mostly because kids are also on social media who are getting into Sonic recently don't know everything about him.
That's an opinion, and yeah, I agree. You guys are still weird. You guys are still weird. Sonic fan base is weird. Is weird. Now there are a lot of talented weirdos. There are a lot of very talented
That's fair.
people in the fan base. Don't get me wrong. They make great stuff, and they're very talented. They're good at what they do. However, Sonic fans, if you identify as a Sonic fan, like a big part of the fandom, you know what I mean? You're probably in my mentions arguing about a game from 30 years ago. You say this as a member of the Smash community. I'm a member of the Smash competitive community. There's a very big difference.
They're both pretty cringe, not gonna lie.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't think that's.
Oh yeah, this is before. Gosh, man, this is before the great 2022 massacre. So,
Yeah.
He's not aware.
I'm not talking about.
Honestly, I like normal competitive Smash is much worse than regular Smash. Because casual Smash players, they just like seeing their favorite character do things, and we play like 10-minute matches with the items turned on. Like, that's fun. Competitive Smash is a lot worse than casual Smash. Like, it's with all this like infighting between competitive players and all this other stuff. The worst thing a casual Smash player is gonna say to you, is that, oh, you picked this character, haha, I'm gonna like, you suck for picking that character. Like, that's it. Like, competitive Smash players will have literal twit longers about what Mango said this week. And it's like, come on, man. Like, y'all do everything. Competitive Smash players do everything but play their game. Like, so Coney, I love you, but no, like, you are definitely part of one of the worst communities. The worst fighting game community.
Yeah.
I think the competitive community is better than people who are still really into Smash casually right now.
No.
Those people who like
No one who plays Smash casually are really into Smash. They play it because it's a fun party game to bring to the house with friends. Like, you can see Mario do cool things. You can see Sonic fight Pac-Man, and that's like the coolest thing ever as a casual Smash fan. The amount of times I've looked at something on screen and go, man, this is so cool, and have like a competitive player spur out about how broken it is like, come on, man. Like I was playing Smash with somebody who wanted to play Pyramithra, and they got the purple skin, and she was like, oh, like this kind of looks like Beaufort. I didn't want to get her, so next time I special response, I'm like, you know what? That actually really does, and I kind of like that. You never get these kind of things out of competitive people.
Yeah, they're not focused on that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you never get this sort of thing out of competitive people, and it's like, it's so nice just being able to talk about the game in a casual setting. Don't get me wrong, I like the sweat stuff too, but like me and two friends did like a Jigglypuff raid boss where like I was like one of the better people at the game out of the three of them. And so they would both play Jigglypuff and would probably try to, get me. And it succeeded sometimes, it failed sometimes, but like we had fun doing it the entire time. And it's like nobody ever does stuff like that. Like competitive Smash channels are all, haha, watch me do cool combo on Twitch.
really
That's it. And it's like the same B&B they've been doing for like 7 years.
care about who is or isn't in the game and getting fights over it, the people who are campaigning for Bandana D in 2020, that's
Valid.
Yeah.
to you.
Now, I will give him that people that cannot handle like assault or losing to random shenanigans, though they're weird. Like I was turned down, getting comboed to death. Like if that's enough for you to spurt out and then just like throw your controller against the wall, like that's weird. You are weird for that. If that's who he's talking about, then I understand that. But everyone I've played with, minus like my brother who has like really bad luck and sometimes just doesn't want to play anymore, which is fair. Like no one likes getting like smacked around like that. It can be annoying. I get that. But like the spurging is weird. That I agree with Coney with.
You don't think so? You don't think that's weird?
And entity is valid.
Taunt lobbies and go.
I forgot about Tom Lobbies. Okay, maybe casual fans are a little weirder than I thought.
Taunt lobbies.
So taunt lobbies are basically in Smash 4 you could set up and I think Ultimate has I think people do it in Ultimate, but in Smash 4 it was like you can set a stage, everyone there just sits there and taunts, and if you don't taunt you get ganged up on and then they go back to taunting. Like literally spend $60 to go online, create a room, and then just spam taunts for like 3 hours. Like that's like terminally online nonsense though.
Yeah. Like I don't know about that.
Like that's weird.
Yeah.
That's one of the weird ones.
Oh, make lobbies on
Oh,
Smash
just wait.
to not fight, just to taunt. You think that's weirder than the competitive community? Shut the fuck up. Shake.
No, competitive community is still worse. Like that's like, it's weird. Don't get me wrong. I don't get why you would pay $60 just to do that, but competitive scene is still worse.
My hand. Thank you very much. Here's a little bit of comic relief. All right, here's a little bit of fun. The live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo is extremely enjoyable to watch for other
Funny, but
and I'd rather watch that than whatever CGI-infested corporate mush the new Sonic movie was.
This is before the Mario movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
will
probably,
say, Bob Hopkins was a very good looking Mario. John Leguizamo, I don't know what they were cooking with John Leguizamo.
I mean, it's probably gonna be an opinion, but
This is a hard opinion. And this isn't even because I don't like the Mario Bros. Movie, but like weird creative stuff it pulls off. Like they get isekai and then like they try to explain Bowser as like someone with dinosaur genetics, which
yeah.
I guess would be fine in an AU, which I guess is what this movie was technically supposed to be, because they don't have much information to go off of. Given Super Mario Bros. Was kind of cut and dry, save the princess, like that was it. But I don't know, like I feel like it needed a better writer. But I will say, like, I guess them trying to add a backstory to something that had nothing is pretty creative in its own right. I'll
Mm.
still say it's an opinion because I'm not gonna say it's an enjoyable movie to watch.
I mean,
But
the development process of that movie definitely was pretty flawed because it went through a lot of changes and the director changes and all that stuff. It was really pretty bad.
yeah, that's right. Director couldn't make up their mind on anything. It was so unsafe to film on that like the Bob Hopkins got injured several times. They both went on record to say it was a nightmare to work on.
Yeah. So like there's just issues with the whole filming of it, really. But
Yeah, the whole thing was a mess, and like you could say that like as an AU it might be serviceable, but that's a lot of like heck and high water to go through for mid at most.
It's better than Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, it's true. This is true. Yeah. No, he's right. He's right about this.
Pretty much the new Sonic movie was the new Sonic. The first one I can kind of get why people would think that that's like much because it's like Sonic is isekai into the human world, and like every other like kid's fantasy character is like, oh, they're in New York. Well, Sonic actually isekai into a small town, but it was like a character goes to the real world and has to like do like real world things. Like I like that Sonic actually did something different with it to where he wasn't a fish out of water when he start in the movie. He kind of like obviously when he isekai there, he didn't know how stuff worked, but he understood how people interacted with each other by watching and observing how they acted. So he's pretty familiar with how the world works, so he's not a fish out of water there anymore. Like that is the guy actually like did something new with it instead of just like having someone bump and almost get ran over by a car for like the eighth time. I don't know. Like I don't think it's just corporate slop, but I could definitely see how people would think that initially.
I think the Super Mario movie, the problem is that it came out at a time where a lot of people really wanted the realism of the games. Now, I think there have been enough video games that have tried to do right by the game that it's gotten really. I would rather have the opposite. I would rather have something take a world of a game and just fuck it up. Take creative liberties
okay.
and find interesting ways to tell stories.
That's technically what the second and third movies are doing now. Like the first Sonic movie was pretty bare, and again, this is 3 years ago, so
Mhm.
obviously opinions age. But like the first movie was pretty cut and dry. Eggman's doing Eggman stuff, and Sonic has to beat them and save the day. But like the second movie actually like did a unique job telling Knuckles' story and how like it stuck with like the core backstory, but it did enough unique things with said backstory to where it was like I liked it. And they seem to be doing the same thing with a third Sonic movie, and the whole Flames of Disaster thing is like a thing an install that Super Knuckles gets. So it makes me think that what are they gonna do if they ever make Sonic 06 a thing? But freaking like they're doing enough unique things with the newer stuff. The first one I can understand what people thought was kind of bare bones stuff. Like I can get that.
Either way, I'm not looking forward to the Mario movie made by the Minion people because that's about to happen. And when that
What do
happens,
you
we'll
mean?
revisit this.
Many people.
Maybe we'll
That's Mario.
change it.
I don't think Illumination made Sonic. That's the Mario one.
Yeah, he was saying that he's not looking forward to the Mario movie that's made by the minion people, the Illumination.
He said Sonic.
Sonic was Paramount.
I know, but he said Sonic.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and the
I
guy
got
and the guy in that tweet also said Sonic was the one he was talking about. So I don't know what Coney's talking about.
sure, but yeah, Mario movie was like after the member berries expire, the movie's kind of good.
2 is better than
Like
1.
I could watch the Sonic movies like over and over and over because outside of member berries, like the plot is still really good.
This is fake. I'm so glad I don't have
He's already decided.
2. Donkey Kong Country.
Country 2 is better than 1. Well, you can argue 1 is more consistent and honest, its levels all blend together and hardly stand out. 2 while arguably having a couple blank blank has much higher highs. Okay.
2 is better than 1. This is fake. I'm so glad I don't have to spend time on this. No, 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 no. A lot of people parrot this. A lot of people parrot this. No, no, no. Hear me out. Hear me out. A lot of people say that Donkey Kong 2 is better than Donkey Kong 1. Listen, the gameplay slightly better, but there's nothing in terms of atmosphere. I've talked about this on the channel before. I'm not going to waste your time. Donkey Kong Country has amazing atmosphere. It's a very confined experience. It's very central to its location. The jungle. You have the jungle. You have mine carts. You have these very lush landscapes. The forest, right? You said earlier the gameplay over atmosphere. It depends on the game. It depends on the game.
Yeah.
Because Donkey Kong Country's atmosphere is so masterfully crafted that the slight change in gameplay, the elevation in gameplay from Donkey Kong Country 2 from 1, doesn't... What, the fucking Webby the spider? You think that's worth sacrificing? The feeling that you get when you hear Life in the Mines? It's not. Also, I'm going to say it again, Snickerbush Symphony, that level sucks.
Wow.
The one where you're constantly hitting the barrels and I hate that level.
Stickerbush Symphony. Oh, the music is really good, but if the level sucks, that's fine.
Don't like that level. Half of the time, you spend all of your time sitting in a barrel like, oh god, I gotta wait for it to cycle again. Good song though? No. Okay, there I sipped the content juice a little hard on that one. I'm being contrarian. It's a good song, it's not as good as you guys are saying.
And the Brawl version is definitely a million times better, but I really do like Stickerbush Symphony.
Okay, I'll admit when I'm wrong, okay? But Donkey Kong Country...
Are you sure?
2, Donkey Kong Country
Sure.
mostly unmemorable. I don't know why the theme is Canada. That's a little weird. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of video game facts or opinions. Were you right? Were you wrong? You were probably mostly wrong, right? It's okay.
Okay.
Learning, right? It's all about learning. And one thing that you should learn is how important it is for you to subscribe. Right, chat? Can I get some nodders? Some nodding? Some nodding? Twitch chat? No, don't shake your head. Subscribing is free and it helps the channel a lot. Please subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff that a million other people have told you to do. I'll see you next time.
Later.
That's a bad fighting game video.
Yeah. Actually, I might do that one next time.
I've seen it, but yeah.
Alrighty. It's about 2 o'clock. I have some calls I gotta make, so I think I'll cut it off there. Was there anything else you wanted to
No,
say, buddy?
I think we're good.
Alrighty. Yeah, sorry we couldn't do D&D this week.
Yeah.
But now that I have a better grasp of what's going on, I should be able to do it next Tuesday, so long as I know everything's on the up and up with my mom later.
Gotcha.
I think your cat wants you to end your stream too.
She always does. It's not about you.
Hopefully, the player's feeling better. We can play D&D next week.
Yeah. I was just talking to her. Yeah. yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
Talk
to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Brr. Alright, everyone. That was that. I might still stream later. I streamed this morning, but I think I might continue the Ocarina of Time randomizer I was doing. So tune back in for that, I guess, if you want. Otherwise, until then, have a fantastic rest of your day.